wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. The wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is not.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go do it. This is my point here with that. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like, especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls of yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown ass man,
there it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Facts. What he wants in the future.
And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. I think where a lot of women get it confused. Not your responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Vince on deck. Man, say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Good evening.
Wednesday. What's going on with you, Vince? You all right, man?
I'm wonderful.
I hear that. Am I hearing feedback?
Yeah, I hear some feedback. I'm just not sure where.
Testing. How's that?
That sounds okay. Is it something coming on my line?
No, it seems like you're good. Might have been Vince. Come on. When you get a minute, mute yourself real quick, Vince. Yeah, it's coming off your side, man.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, I must say, just drop out and come back in real quick. All right, cool. All right, I saw your message. Janice. I just sent that over to you. But yeah, shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Let's say, excuse the technical difficulties. Let's say this is it's the internet for you.
That's how I go.
That's how I go sometimes. You can sit here and put all the preps in place, and then some stuff still be still acting weird. So it is what it is. But shout out to y'all. Let's see. We got a chunk of folks on here right now. Everybody watching right now, do me a favor and hit that like button, and hit that share button as well. Let me shout out a couple folks checking in early. Shout out to Kenyatta in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. What's going on with you, sis? We appreciate you rocking with us every Wednesday night. We also got Crystal Reed in the building. Shout out to you, Crystal. Appreciate you joining us as well. She says, good evening. All right, let me, got Janice checking in. What's going on, Janice?
Is my internet working tonight?
No, you good over there. I know you said, what you say you was on some free lunch? What you say you was on that time?
Oh, we still on free lunch. I couldn't do it.
I ain't mad. Let me see. All right, Vince, go ahead and say something now. Let me see.
Still there. Girl in the house. Hey, Janice.
I think that feedback is still there, Vince. Say something else.
It's still there?
I think it might be okay now.
Wait, Vince, you looking slim. What's going on?
Oh no.
He gave her that look.
I gotta lose 5 pounds. I'm going to Cali next month, so I'm trying to wear my little hoochie daddy shorts.
Oh my God! Hold on now, Vince. I don't know if we're rocking with the hoochie daddies, man. Hold on.
Oh, I love them shorts. Those shorts is cute on man. I like them.
I was joking, but okay.
You see how she tried to set that up, man.
Okay,
you see
Remy.
that, man?
You heard that. You gotta get those shorts, Remy.
I think I still hear that. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still slim.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hold on 1 sec. Let me just see something. Hold on. Janice and Chloe, say something for me.
I keep mine on mute.
No, you good. Go ahead, Chloe. You say something?
Testing.
Yours is good too. So yeah, I think it's coming off your side, Vince. I don't know what it is, man. Yeah, because every time I unmute you, I can hear it. So I'm not sure what it is, but it's coming off your side, Vince. Yeah, I think he just dropped out. Okay, my bad. Let's see. Donovan said, "What up, though? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone." All right. So let me do this real quick while it's fresh on my mind. Let's get this panel up. All right, so here's the link to join the panel. You can drop this in your Google Home, your Microsoft Edge, on your Apple device. If you are joining us on the panel on your Apple device, I know you got to come through Safari, so just keep that in mind. You got to use Safari on an Apple device. But like I said, this allows you to come up on the panel with us and join us live on the screen here, which we always encourage you to. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose, but we encourage you to keep it on. Like I said, it makes for a better show, better engagement. So I'll leave this up here for a little bit. We also have it in all of the chat feeds, so you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube and Facebook, or you can shoot me a message on Facebook, and I'll send you the link directly. All right, I think we got Vince back. Let me know if you want to try it again, Vince. Yeah, still there. Still there.
Vince, you got that free internet too?
No. You know what? Let me try something else.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Some type of feedback. But yeah, there's a link right there. We also got it in all the chat feeds. But like I said, everybody watching right now, I see we got a chunk of folks on here right now. Please hit the like button for us. And also hit that share as well. Helps us with reaching more viewers and just helping us getting this message to as many of our people as possible. So definitely hit that like button. Likes are free. So hit that like button for us while you are joining us on the show. Okay. I'm trying to let Vince get situated. But yeah, I'll go ahead and drop this title real quick just so we know what we got. So topic for tonight. Do women have what men really want?
Wait, hold on now. I don't think that was the title. Wait, hold up. I've been bamboozled.
It's the title. It's the title.
You saw my
Hold on, Johnny. Hold on, Johnny. You ain't got to fight us already.
I was like, you ready? I was like, we need to play the video yet.
Oh man. So yeah, let me I'm gonna run the second title too. I'm gonna run the second title too, since Johnny's ready to jump on us. So title for the night, or topic for tonight: what men really want. How about that? Oh man. So let me I'm gonna drop this panel link down. Let's let anybody in the comments let me know if you need the link to join us on the panel. Let's see. Ray Cribbs checking in. She said, I do. Oh, okay, laugh her butt off. Okay, tell him, Ray.
Yes, she do. Period.
So let me tell you how this was supposed to go, right? So we reached out to some fellas to try to get some fellas on here. I'm still hoping that a couple fellas may pop on with us, but basically we wanted to talk to the fellas, right? We want to talk to the fellas and try to help the young ladies understand what these dudes are actually looking for and how their mind works. So that was the premise of the show. But of course that requires fellas. So I don't know where all my fellas is at right about now, but I'm gonna try to let Vince get back on. And like I said, any fellas down in the comments, I definitely would like to get some of y'all on the panel, because I said I want to get this information to the ladies to help with some clarifications around what the fellas are actually looking for. All right, go ahead and say something now, Vince.
Is that better or no?
It's still there, man.
Maybe I'll try to calm
It's a little better.
You know what? I'm about to say we might try to work with it. So let's do this. Just mute when you're not talking.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just try to do that because I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, but yeah, that was the premise. Let's say we wanted to get some fellas on here so we can have that conversation. So I'm gonna see if some fellas will pop on, so we can get into that. But I got a video. I'm gonna kick us off just with a video real quick, just for some context. And then we'll try to get into this conversation. Actually, we got 2 topics we're gonna touch tonight, so we'll see how this all play out. But let me drop this first one, then we'll get into this conversation.
Men, we see beauty in a woman, in a face, but when they open their mouth, it changes the way we look at you. It don't matter how pretty you are. We'll still look at you with a whole different set of eyes. And then you'll see another sister that may not appear in some cases to look as pretty as this sister, but she fine. Because when she open her mouth and the way she conduct herself, she's not up in dudes' faces. That's the ones we're looking at. The ones that's not up in dudes' faces trying to put on a show, those are the ones the real men are like, that's the one you bag right there. Them other ones, nah, you just good, you eye candy, whatever. That's it. Men will use you for a sperm receptacle. I'm telling you how men are. So don't try to win us with that, because I'm telling you that's not what's going to get us. You might get us, but you won't hold us. You will not hold us like that. That stuff wears off for us.
All right. So, topic for tonight. Do women have what men really want? All right. So, yeah, I wanted to start out with that video because I said I came across that video and I think it points out something, right? Sometimes I wonder, do some of the ladies actually understand what some of these men are looking at and looking for? Yeah, but that was one of the main reasons why I was trying to put this show together. I know sometimes it's hard to get fellas to check in, but that was one of the main reasons I was trying to put this show together. I said, because I wanted men to get on here and speak to the ladies and tell them what they're looking for, what they like, what they don't like. So at least to provide some clarity and some, and some foundation. So there's not such a disconnect on what, how men are viewing it, right? Because sometimes I don't think women understand how men are viewing it. And I think vice versa. Sometimes I don't think men understand how women are viewing it, right? But as y'all all know, on this show, we try to bridge the gap. We try to connect everybody so that we can restore some of our relationships, get us back together, and just get us thinking differently and moving differently. So that really was the premise. But I'm gonna flip this up just a little bit real fast, and then I'm gonna circle to my guy Vince. I'm trying to see if I can get this up, but this is actually for you, Janice. I'm gonna swing this your way for a minute. So I made a post this week, and you responded on this post, and you made a statement, and you said that you are not a man, but you think a man or woman should look for their match, the person that balances them. Give me some background on that. Why do you think? Better yet, why did you make that statement?
I made that statement because I'm in these streets dating, and the first thing I tell men is that I'm looking for a man that's peaceful and calm and is great with budgeting, because those are opposite of me, right?
Okay.
And that's what I need. So I need that opposite. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't want a person that's like me. I'm hyper. I'm not a budgeter. I'm not this. I need my balance, you know? So I think everybody needs that. You need that person that, you know, like you may not be strong at something, and then your wife Chloe is strong at something else. It balances. It balances your life out, you know. So that's why I said that I just want a man that balances my life. Where I'm weak at, I need him to be strong at. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
So okay, so I'm not mad at that. So you know, I'll speak from the male perspective. So yeah, I definitely think that men are looking for balance as well. Yeah, because there are, you know, to your point, there's things that we may not be good at, right? That our significant other or the lady that we're seeking is good at. So let's say you make a valid point there. Hold on one sec. You want to say something? Go ahead.
But men say they look, but I think that's just how I feel personally. I think a lot of Black men personally get caught up in the aesthetics of women really bad. Really, really bad. Really bad in comparison to white guys. Because I see them with any type of woman. They don't care. As long as her family got money, they're okay. But Black men, I think they get too caught up in the looks of a woman, personally. That's just my opinion though. Because there's a lot of good Black women out here.
Do you see that? Do you think that's a dual problem? Like, do you see that on both sides? Do you think that's a problem?
I think it can be both. I think it can be both Black women and Black. I think Black people in general, we're caught up in looks. We really are. You can tell the way we dress. We always want to have designer. We always want to have this. We are really caught up in aesthetics, and I think that's like a real big issue for us. The aesthetics.
Okay, let me ask this, because now I got a question for you. You just made another statement, so let me dig into that. So you said that there's a lot of good women out here. How did you come to that conclusion?
I mean, there's a lot of good women. There's a lot of good men. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that there's not a lot of good men. I mean, you got to find your match. But I think we all, Black women and Black men, need to get over the aesthetics of people. You know, like I'm letting go of my rule of like, I need you to work out, right? Because you know what? I'll take somebody with a stomach at this point. It's fine.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. What?
Okay, because that's not gonna stop him from paying the bills.
It's okay.
Y'all heard it.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop him from being able to do other things either, sis.
But see, that's one of the reasons. And I think, you know, like I said,
to be honest,
the reason I asked you that question is because I hear that a lot, right? I hear that a lot, and I hear ladies say that there's a lot of good women out here. But then I always need y'all to quantify that. What is that based on? When a woman says that there's a lot of good women out here, what does that mean?
I don't know. Like I need Vince, but like what I'm saying is like, okay, so let's take this. Let's take a date I went out with. I went out with last couple times with a guy that was a bus driver, right? Because you guys always say, give everybody a try. Give everybody a try.
Here you go.
Even though I know it's not gonna work unless he's like super intelligent or super spiritual, something that he can teach me or guide me. But if he ain't got the money and he ain't got the intelligence, it ain't gonna work if I'm making more money than him, because he's not bringing any value to me. If he can't provide and he can't give me no spiritual or some kind of intellectual guidance, it's just not possible to work. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not making it about money. I'm saying if you don't have the money, cool, but you give me some Malcolm X, spiritual guidance. Give me some guidance. Like, that's all I'm saying.
But see, I think the issue with that is I'm gonna call it how I'm hearing it. Hold on, let me mute him for a minute. I'm gonna bring you back, Vince. Hold on. I'm gonna call it how I'm hearing it. You still, even in that statement that you just made, you still prioritizing the money.
No. I said spiritual guidance or have some kind of intellectual intelligence to like, I want to use the right word, like do something with my mind, turn my mind on.
No, but what I'm saying is even in that statement, I'm gonna try to break this down as best I can. Even in that statement, you still prioritizing the money. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you say that at least be able to do this, this, and this. See, you just playing on the other side. So essentially at the end of the day, if the man had the money, right? Would all of that stuff still carry the same amount of weight if he had the money?
No, that's just what it is. Either a man, if you can't provide fully for a woman, then you got to have some type of something going up here. That's all I'm saying. I can do without the money. Obviously, I done a bus driver. I done everything. I'm trying. I'm listening to you, but it ain't working. Okay, but you got to have something up here. Like I'm still a intelligent woman. You need to be intelligent too. Then if you ain't got the money, that's all I'm saying. That's not bad. I don't think. I'm not basing it off of money. I'm saying give me something of value. That's all I'm saying, right? That's what you said, Mr. Price. Value. Give me some intellectual, spiritual guidance.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna come back and listen. I'm not done with this. I feel something else is there. Let's see. Shout out to Sean Whitaker. He said you want to be entertained.
What does that mean? You want to be entertained? No, I said spiritual. I said guidance. I don't like. Chloe, do you remember like Malcolm X? Right? Malcolm X. He probably wasn't a rich man, but that man right there, women are going to want him because he's going to teach you something. He's going to help you, guide you. Like he's going to give you some value. If you don't have that money, have something of value for that woman. If not, then what price? What would be the reason for messing with the man?
Okay, so I'm hearing and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing that in general.
You up next, Vince?
Women, because we had this conversation. We didn't have this conversation, but there was a point made last week's show by Nadia, and she was kind of saying something very similar, that she was concerned that a man, if he wasn't at a certain level, he would not be able to, educate her on anything. He wouldn't be able to teach her anything. What can she learn from a man at a certain economic level? That was our issue, right? The economic level being the determining factor. However, what I'm hearing overall is women need their men to be leveled over them in some way. Like they have to be a level above them in some way in order for a woman to feel like, okay, I can submit to you. I can come under your leadership because I feel like you're leveling me in some way. If I don't feel like you're leveling me in some way, then I'm going to struggle because I'm going to always feel like I'm not going to feel secure. I'm going to feel like at some point I'm going to have to be in control. I'm going to have to, maybe take the reins, or you're just not going to be able to do it. Or your leadership may come into question because there may come a time where there might be something that needs to get done. And are you going to be able to do it? Are you going to meet the challenge? That's what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Yeah. Like a teacher. Think about a man as a teacher. He out there leading the whole next generation. That's a turn on. A man that's volunteering and giving back to the community. That's a man of value. He don't have to have the money, but he has some value. He can lead.
Okay. Let me unmute Vince. Go ahead, Vince.
Well, let's go back to the what men want, and I'm gonna put some requirements, age requirements, because I think it's different from men because men are at different stages in their lives at different times. So I'm gonna say 35 and over that's looking to be married or a serious committed relationship. I think those men, first thing they're looking for is femininity. Second thing they're looking for is peace. And the third thing they're looking for is appreciation. By the time a man is 35, he should be in his purpose and in his gift. He shouldn't be still trying to find himself. If he's a bus driver, he should be driving that bus for about 10 years now. If he work at the post office, he should be at the post office for a while. If he an executive, he in sales. If he doing this, he doing this. But he should know what he wants to do by the age of 35 and be into that. I think the femininity is key. We don't want anything hard. We don't want anything masculine. And also, I'm sorry, I forgot one. The second one is cooperation. Femininity, cooperation. We need cooperation. And a lot of ladies are so used to doing it on their own that it's hard to cooperate, especially with the man that makes less than you. And I think sometimes we confuse a man that makes less and a broke man. That's two totally different things. But let's say a man works for the post office and all he wants to be is a letter carrier. He don't want to be postmaster general. He don't want to own the post office. He just want to be a letter carrier. He's fine with that. I think a lot of times a woman who might makes more money is going to push him to be more than what he is. And sometimes a lady will think that's, oh, you're settling or you don't want to be, but no, I'm fine with where I am. I'm content. See, I think that a lot of times I think that the women have to ask themselves, what is my contentment level? Where will I be content at? And that's the question you ladies need to ask. Because y'all say y'all get with the man who's a truck driver. He makes 70. And you make 100, well, 80 and you make 130. 100, no, I'm going to say 150 to where it's a lifestyle change. You want a $500,000 house. He wants a $300,000 house. Where are we going to meet in the middle? You're going to say, why don't you try to get another truck? Why don't you try to own it so I can get this $500,000 house? Because that's where you're content at. So I think that women have to understand, okay, I can be content with the man that makes 60. And then also, when you start getting older, men also look for situations, ladies. And I don't think y'all take that into consideration either. A man more so when he gets older, those kids is a big thing. The relationship that you have with your children, the relationship you have with that ex-husband or baby daddy, the relationship that you have with your mama, all that comes into play. And just because you make money doesn't mean that you're a good woman. Yes, I would say there are good people out here. But as far as when you start defining husbands and wives, I don't think it's a lot because we haven't seen it. We don't know what it is. I'll take me, for instance. I used my grandparents, but that was a totally different generation. I didn't have a father in my home. I just had my mother. So yes, I was a good person, but was I trained and did I see a father and a husband? No, I didn't. And that's most people. And I think that is very important when we start to be in these relationships, because that will give you a level of trust. Because most people, I talk to a lot of people that's been married for over 15 years. They said it's been years, where they didn't talk. It was years where he was sleeping upstairs, I was sleeping downstairs, and then we got back together. People don't want to go through that no more because they don't see the value in that. Our grandparents seen the value in that. Our grandparents seen the value was, well, at least daddy in the home. At least their mom is here to take care of them. And we'll find our way back to each other. And it might be when we're 60. I've seen a lot of people have horrible marriages for 20 years, and then the kids gone or whatever else, and they come on back together. People don't, and that's in general of our society. We don't want to go through nothing. We just don't. If it's broke, throw it away, we'll buy another one. With anything, I do it. Why fix it when I can just buy another one? And that's the attitude that we have.
Yeah, but see, I think that's part of the problem, Vince, that mentality right there of just buy another one. See, that breeds a lack of appreciation. Yeah, see, you'll appreciate something a lot more when you have to put into it, when you help build it, for the men, when you repair it, you're going to appreciate it a lot more. But see, when you get into the mindset of I can just throw it away and go buy a new one, or better yet, the grass is greener on the other side, you ain't going to appreciate it. And that's what we see today. You want to say something, Chloe?
Yeah, I was going to actually say, so keeping in, you know, kind of keeping in informed with the topic, right? What men really want. And Vince, you highlighted a few things. And honestly, we hear this, we hear the same things pretty much consistently from men, right? Men have built a whole platform talking about that and mentioning these specific things. So I'm like, let's go through them, right? So one thing that you talked about was femininity, right? Now, being a wife and having been in this role for, you know, years now, I can honestly say this, just the thing about a man saying he wants a woman to be feminine. First of all, your femininity should be natural. It should come natural to you. But we also have to understand too that when a woman has had to do things on her own for so long, it does become challenging, right? And this is not an excuse. This is just like reality. Like, it does become challenging because what ends up happening is you have had to do all the things. So you have had to take on a very, you know, focused, leader focused mindset, you know, get it done by any means necessary mindset. And sometimes that's really difficult to put down. My question for men would be, if you come across a woman who is, for the most part, you know, someone who you feel like you're compatible with, but she maybe has a problem at times, you know, maybe being a little bit direct, being a little, you know, I'll even say this word because I don't have a better word, being more aggressive than you would like. Wanting to make more decisions than you would like, not understanding how to kind of yield at certain times and let you take the lead because she's so used to doing so. My question is, at what point is there a point where a man says, okay, I get it. Like, this is because she's had to do this all by herself, but I'm here now. So what's a male's response to that? Because the truth of the matter is, you're going to run into a lot of women who aren't necessarily bad women, who aren't necessarily women that are throwaway women. Like, if you guys want us to build with you, which we absolutely should be willing to do, I do think that we should be willing to build together, because building can come at any level. Just because a man is 40 and he should have all his stuff together, right, doesn't mean that when you get with him, you guys aren't still going to have to build your relationship. You're still going to have to build together, right? There's still going to be some work. There's still going to be some work that you're going to have to put in, because even if he does come with finances, maybe he's never been in a committed monogamous relationship where, you know, there's marriage on the table. So now you guys have to come together, and there's going to be some building, right? There's going to be some adjustment. There's going to be you learning him learning you. That has to happen. Even if he has those requirements on paper, there still has to be time for you guys to kind of, we've said this before, mold each other into people that are compatible for you. Because there might be some things, Johnny, that man might be doing that he just does this because it's always what he's done, and he needs you to come in and be like, no, let's do it this way. And he may do some things with you the same way, right? That's something that has to happen. So if a woman is willing to do that with you, and she says, okay, I'll build with you, then is it a point where a man has to say, okay, I see this is the area she needs to work on, right? She needs support here. She needs me to be patient with her. She needs me to have grace with her, because this is something that she's always had to do herself. And now I'm here. So what does that look like for a man? Because we can't just keep saying, man, she's not feminine enough, throw her away. Because we don't want women throwing men away if they don't have all of the specific things that a man needs, right? There is a case for grace. So I guess my thing is, how does that look? What does that look like as a man? You say you want femininity. Okay, I get it. But at what point do you say, okay, it's worth it for me to also come into this relationship and understand that, you know, there might be some things on her end that she needs to work on, just like there's some things that I may need to work on.
Go ahead,
Can we define femininity? Because it's not cooking and cleaning, right? I want to know a man's definition of femininity first, and then let's define masculinity. Because I don't think a lot of men understand what femininity is. And I don't think a lot of women, I don't think, what's the definition? Because cooking and cleaning is not femininity. So what is femininity from a man?
I mean, so for me, this is the way I mean, unless you want to read the definition, I mean, I'm gonna get.
Give me your definition, Chloe. I'm good with it, but we need to define that because I don't think a lot of men understand.
So femininity isn't just about a woman cooking and cleaning, because a man can cook and clean. Okay. However, living in your femininity does involve a level of nurture. That's a part of your nature, right? Nurture. So that could include cooking and cleaning. It's a part of it, because when you cook for your family and you clean your home and you take care of your home, that's a part of nurture, right? So it does fall under it, but it's not the only thing. I would hope that men understand that a feminine woman, she will know how to respond and how to move around a man. That means that when that man is there, this is the part I think that men are having a problem with. When that man is there, that masculinity, she automatically responds because she's living in her femininity. She knows when it's time to speak up, when it's time to yield to that man's leadership. She understands how to be his soft place to land, not to meet his aggression and his testosterone with her own level of testosterone. That doesn't work. There has to be, like you said earlier, balance. And to me, the essence of a feminine woman, she understands the balance. She has that mastered, so to speak. And this is something that could be evolving. We can improve. That's why I asked that question. But a feminine woman is not just someone who cooks and cleans. She's someone who at her core understands her superpower. That's being a nurturer. That's being soft. That's being mild tempered, not popping off at the mouth all the time, every time somebody says something she don't like. It's knowing how to submit in any situation. And it doesn't even necessarily mean you submitting to a man that's sleeping with you. Feminine energy knows how to submit to masculine energy. But I will say this, because this is where I was going with that point. Feminine energy also needs masculine energy in order for her to be able to feel safe, to let down any walls that she may have. And that's where I was going with that next, Johnny's, honestly. Like, if you guys have to understand, when a woman says, well, I'll submit to the right man, I don't necessarily agree with that. Because if you are living in your feminine energy, you are going to submit to masculine energy. But we have to ask ourselves, men, if a woman doesn't feel safe, though, genuinely, if she doesn't feel safe and she doesn't feel secure, she's not going to be able to yield, not because she doesn't want to, but because her fear of not being able to be taken care of is going to put her on, like, in a state of insecurity. Yeah, she'll feel insecure about the situation, and that's going to keep her. She's going to feel like, well, I can't put this away. I can't put it away because I don't know if this guy's going to be able to handle it himself. I may have to be in this. I may have to take control. I may have to step up. So I think it is important for men to understand that that thing is in all of us. Even the most feminine woman can go to a place of fear. If she feels like the person who is her leader and protector can't lead and protect. Now, the problem comes in when she's basing her decision on whether or not he's able to lead and protect on reasons that are not valid. That's the difference. And what I see sometimes is women will say that, oh, well, I submit to the right man. And what they're really trying to say is the man that makes me feel safe, the man that I feel secure with. If he comes in and I don't feel like I have to be on ready, set, go all the time because I'm programmed to be on ready, set, go all the time because this is how I've always done it, right? That's what she means. The problem comes in when a man does show up, even though that's what she really wants to be able to do, she's going to struggle. So what happens? How does that man respond?
Yeah, but I think partially, and I'm gonna come to you, Vince. I think partially though that's also has to be based on, or we need to clarify, what is her definition of feeling safe? No, I'm just being real. Like we gotta clarify that.
Mind, body, soul, protect all that. Mind, body, soul. That it's not complicated with a woman to feel safe, though. It's really not.
You said it's not. Wait. You said it's not complicated.
It's not complicated to make a woman feel safe. It's really simple as a man. It's not about money either. It's really. I don't think it's complicated to make a woman feel safe.
So wait. So you saying that a woman's safety it's not about money? There's no money in that at all?
I'm not. I mean, it depends. I mean, if statistically now, Black women are making more money than Black men, right? Are more educated. That's just what it is. They didn't put it out. It is what it is. Who cares?
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, DMV it is. Okay, and that's just what it is, right?
Okay.
So it can't be about money because if that's the
case, like in a different world than DMV. Huh? That's like a whole nother.
It is a whole nother world. It's like Atlanta and everything, but security can't be based off of money at this point because we're gonna be out here just surviving on our own if that's the case.
But Janice, that's my point though. That's what's happening. So see, a lot of ladies are saying because this guy does not make this certain amount of money, they don't feel safe. So they're making the choice to go out here and survive on their own, i.e. single by choice. That's exactly what's happening. So that's why I said we can't sit here and say that women in their safety is not based around money. Like clearly it is.
Can a man, I mean, are you men secure if you make a lot less than your woman?
Say that again.
Are men secure when women make a lot more money than them? Are you guys going to be secure?
Can I please answer that?
Go ahead, Vince. I was about to. Go ahead.
The issue is not about us being secure. It's about y'all beating us over the head with it. Because I'm going to keep it real. I don't have no problem with anybody wanting what they want. I really don't. My issue is, are you doing the things to get it? Now, what I will say for men is we need to stop lying and be honest up front. Look, this is what it is. This is all I'm going to make. Either you're going to deal with it or you're not going to deal with it. I think a lot of times these men go into these situations and they start to sell these dreams to y'all. Oh, yeah, baby, I'm going to get another truck, and knowing they don't want to. Yeah, baby, I'm going to start this business. I got this cat that's going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then what wind up happening is it's not happening, and now y'all discouraged. I think what men need to do is just be honest, like, this is what it is. Can you deal with it? And I do believe people need to stay in their lane. I don't have no problem with that. If you live a certain lifestyle, then you need to be with somebody that wants that same lifestyle. And I don't care if it's a bungalow or it's a $500,000 house, if y'all working to get it. So I'm not saying one is bad and one is good, but I do believe that with men, we have to stop lying to these women. We have to start being honest. Like, look, this all it's gonna be. I'm fine with my one little truck. I got me a nice little 2-bedroom apartment over here. My child support is paid. My kids is grown. Now, if you want somebody, they can take you to, to Cancun every now and again. I'm your guy. But we ain't going every 6 months. I ain't buying you no Gucci bags. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm fine with where I am. Now, if you can accept me for me because I love you and because we only got a few years left, then let's rock with it. But if you need somebody, then you stay on over there. And I need to go find me somebody who cool with it. That's for men and women. We need to stay in our lane. That's the biggest problem. Just like with my wife, it's levels. Give you a perfect example. We went to Miami for New Year's. We met a couple. He was about 8 feet tall, so he probably played in the NFL. We were in line at Puffy's New Year's Eve party. We was in line. We got to talking. My wife got to talking. We got in there. Now, mind, we paid to get in, but we ain't paid to sit down. We paid and was standing there. Then the guy was like, hey, y'all, hey, come on. Look. He had a whole booth. We sat up there and drank it for free. We went out the next night. They picked up the bill. I paid the tip. He said, you know what? Let's go see the Miami Heat. I'm like, cool. I'm thinking these tickets going to be a couple $100. He sent me the text. Them tickets was $1,200 a piece. And I couldn't play myself short. I said, well, I guess I got to pull out the IMAX.
Got to roll on, man.
It's levels. But I said the next time, I'm going to be like, we'll see y'all at halftime because we up there.
Right.
And I told Remy, don't get it twisted. They on a whole nother level. And I'm going to stay on mine. These $150 tickets. 1200. I'm telling you, we were sitting and Puffy and DJ Khaled was right across the thing. I said, they on a whole nother level. They was nice people, but I understood. They on a whole nother level. And so when we do stuff, I got to see how much it's going to cost first to see if I can really, stay in your lane. I mean, it was so funny because me and Remy was like, for a basketball game?
Yeah, but I mean, Vince, keeping it real though, man. How many folks do you think are thinking like that though, man?
I think it's a lot of ladies because they've been pushed to be these entrepreneurs and you can have your own business and everybody gonna be a millionaire. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 30 from real estate. Or I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 30 for these Ponzi flower things. I'm gonna watch Earn Your Leisure and get into the stock market and be a millionaire. So no, that's a lot of people. They want the Mercedes now. They want that. They're not waiting until they 45. They want it right now. And if you gotta work and I gotta work, then that's what we're gonna do. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on marriages too, because if both of y'all working so much, that's when you start to grow apart. Because all y'all want is these things instead of understanding, okay, if you make 150 and I make 75, then let's save my 75, live off your 150. So then when we start having kids, then somebody can take a back seat and raise these kids. But don't nobody want to do that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And see, that's not how that goes. Typically how that goes is, and like I said, we've seen this on the show before. Typically how that goes is he needs to level up. He needs to make more. Yeah, but see, this is why I want to circle back to Chloe's question. So this is what this looks like, when you're asking the question about, what does this look like for the man, right? The man, and Vince said this earlier, and this is facts. The man is looking for cooperation. Yeah, but seeing if you're not approaching this man or approaching this situation with a cooperative attitude or cooperative mindset, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not about you approaching this dude talking about he need to level up. He need to step his game up. He need to do this. He need to do that. How about what we going to do? I'm going to keep going. Go ahead, Janice. Go ahead.
So I would like to say, as far as let's just take the bus driver. It's been more. First date, guess what? We went axe throwing. Axe throwing in DC run about $100. I paid for it, right? Okay. I paid for the date. I have no problem paying for dates. He paid for the drinks. I paid for the date. I still spent more money, right? Next date, I paid again, right? I think that's where my issue comes in as a man. You got to be careful with that, right? When a woman's starting to pay for everything, you got to be careful as a man. I'm teaching my son that. On that first couple dates, nah, you got to be careful. So then we go to the point, he's like, hey, he needed a ride to the airport. Cool. But now I'm helping out a little bit more. Now I'm taking it to the airport. Now I'm doing this. Sound like I'm leading the relationship at this point. You get what I'm saying? And then when I asked, this is random. I asked him like, hey, what time your flight leave? He said, you don't need to know. I don't need to know. He said, yeah, you need to stay in a woman's place. And so where's the woman's place when I done paid for the dates and I'm the one taking you to the airport? Like, I think men have to be very careful with women when we first start a date. If you want me to follow you, then you need to show me some leadership aspects. You know what I'm saying? It's just the leadership aspect. Don't ask me how much. Oh, well, how much? He said, how much was the act? How much was it cost? I said it cost me about $100. Oh, okay. Well, how much do I need to send you? Why would you ask me that? You send me, you know how much it cost me. I just told you how much it cost me. I just, certain things like that, just leave. Because once I start paying for everything, I'm picking out the dates, I'm driving you to the airport, I'm doing all this, you my bitch. Like, that's how I feel.
Ooh-wee.
Oh my God.
So let me ask a question. What's up to my guy Herschel, man? Appreciate you jumping on with us, man. Let me ask a question to you real quick, Janice. I want you to keep it a buck. As a woman, do you really want to contribute financially?
Yes, but damn it, you gotta have some. It's just gotta be common sense with a woman. At this age, I feel like men should understand women. Like, you gotta be careful with that. Women doing so much for you in the beginning. You gotta be seriously careful as a man. If she over here paying for half the dates and paying for this and driving you this, you got.
Oh man, I got some questions.
I mean, okay, well, guys, do y'all want the win? Okay, so let's answer that question first. Is it typical? Like, how do you guys feel about that? As men, you're dating, right? How do you feel about allowing? Do you feel like it gives the woman a leg up in the relationship if she's always paying for things? What are you guys' stance on that? Because I'm just going back to what I was saying earlier. If a woman feels like, I'm not saying you can't treat, like a woman shouldn't be able to treat a guy or take a guy out ever, or ever spend money on a guy. And I don't think that's what Janice is saying. But for a woman to be kind of taking a lead financially like that, especially in the very beginning of a relationship, is that not a red flag? Is that not a red flag?
Let me answer this one. Any woman I've ever dated, her money is no good with me. Period. Now, if she want to leave a tip, that's fine. I teach my boys, if you can't afford the date, then you need to put your head down and work harder. I told my boys, don't you ever move in with no woman in her house. You will never be respected. It's different if y'all moving together, but I wouldn't even do that if you don't have plans for this woman. You should be able to stand on your own as a man. And if all you can afford is Applebee's, then you need to tell her, look, we need to go to Applebee's. And if she want to go to J. Alexander and you got an Applebee's budget, then you need to find another woman. Especially if she can't deal with Applebee's. Period.
That's real right there. That's real right there. So let me put my guy on the spot real quick. Let me put my guy on the spot. So Herschel, I'm put you on the spot real fast, man.
All right.
Are you letting her pay for some of the dates out the gate, or you got a problem with that?
Hey, I'm co-signing with Vince, man. That's like the way I was brought up. I thought the man pays for everything. That's just what I'm used to. Now, again, like say if it's my birthday and she say, hey, I want to treat you or something, you know, something like that. And I even sometimes feel funny about that, you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm not looking for anybody to be putting, you know, only like if you want to cook me a meal or something like that, yeah. But as far as taking to the movies or dinners and trips and things of that nature on a regular basis, no, that's where I stay.
Okay. All right. I was about to put you on the spot real fast.
Okay,
Shantae, what's going on?
Why she doing the ponytail like she about to fight?
Right. Girl, oh, my hair was all over my head. Yes. Girl, Chinese, hey girl, I miss my favorite crazy person. I miss you. Wait a minute. Wait, what can I just say something real quick? I just got so many questions. Janice, first of all, you know better. You know better. I am not opposed to showing a guy that you got it. Now, I'm not opposed to that. I make it rain on a guy in a minute, okay? But not like that. But listen, first time, okay. First of all, you weren't supposed to be paying for nothing on the first date. You was paying for something. Is that when you spent $100 on the first date?
She done froze up. I think it was. It was.
That was red flag for you. You talk about these men gotta be careful. If they girl, you gotta be careful. You can't how you pay for the date? You first of all, you dating below him because it sounds like not saying okay, so I ain't mean to say it like that. But it sounds like you in a different caliber if you are doing what he doing and if he need these rides to the airport and stuff like that. So you already sound like you out of his league. So maybe don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Go ahead, go on that notch. You got it, girl. Go on that notch above that, and you will find something. You gotta humble yourself a little bit, but go on up there. You just go on up there because you can do it.
Wait, you just said something though, Shantae. You said she gotta humble herself a little bit. Explain.
Humble, you gotta be more. What's that word y'all using tonight? It's a new word. I like it. Cooperative. Yes, girl. How you know, Chloe?
Well, like no. Like to be honest, you guys, like I'm trying to give not every man, but I'm trying not to base it off how much they make, right? I'm trying to give a man a chance. Like I just want to support a Black man. That's my only goal, right? So I'm not trying to be like, oh, if you're this, if you're that, if you don't make this amount of money, right? I'm trying to be like, I just want a good man, you know? And then if I do base it off of money, then it's just like I don't know how to balance it. You know,
but what happened? I don't know if you saw my comment, but my boyfriend make the money. But when he got with me, he didn't have no money management. So initially, my femininity did not come out because it's gonna automatically come out when you're kind of being led right. So at first, my femininity didn't come out because I'm like, hold on, if I could pay a almost $2,000 mortgage on my own, plus my bills, plus my dogs, you know what I mean, and you not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Your bills is lower than mine. You making twice as much money as me, and you don't have, or you ain't been, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't understand because it was lack of money management. So that didn't really, the money, him telling me what he did for a living didn't say, ooh, for me. Because at the end of the day, who live and check to check at them plants? It be them tier 1 guys, the ones that been there for 20 something years. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have good money management. So money kind of don't mean nothing if it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody does have something or might not have something that you might want, if you could get with him and work with him, because that's what I did. I was like, oh, he needs some money management. I had to first decide if I wanted to help him, because sometimes men, they feel like you kind of trying to demasculinize them, whatever that word is. But he was very humble to it, and he was very understanding. But he was very understanding because the proof was in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? He understood that before he came around, I was doing everything by myself. And even if somebody did donate something, that's not a donation is not guaranteed. So I think that
if you find somebody that respects who you are and what you do, and then they try to get to know you too, because if you try to get to know somebody like for who they really are instead of what they can do for you, and that's what it is about women. We're so beneficial. We're always thinking about how this gonna benefit me. I was thinking about how the money management was gonna benefit me too, but you can't always like, oh, the money, or you got to be willing to, what Chloe say, you got to be willing to build, and building ain't just about financial. Building can be about, and somebody might can come and build you so you can understand things we be saying.
Yeah, but I will say this. My love language, my ex-husband would say this. My love language is gifts. That's just who I am. I can't change that. I get it. It may get me in trouble because of that, but that's my love language. Gifts. Like, that's my love language.
You're a trick.
I don't mind spending money on a man.
You be tricking.
No, I mean,
yeah.
Oh my God.
That ain't nothing but trick. If that ain't your man, that's tricking, girl.
Wow. Called her out.
Because I've been there before, because that's kind of my love language too. And I had to, and then especially, I don't know, especially, pay a ticket for a nigga because you think he gonna get his license back and stuff like that. Yeah, I understand, Janice. I'm telling you, I'm just reformed.
Man, man.
Switching gears for a minute, since we have, Herschel on, I would love to hear his perspective of, what men are looking for when they're out here, dating and courting women. Like, what are you guys looking for? What are guys looking for?
Okay, thank you. Again, nice seeing everybody. It's been a long time since I've been on this thing.
For sure.
Yeah, but I don't hope I don't want to like repeat saying the same things. But so for me, like I want to make something clear. Like when I mentioned about the whole like paying thing, like at the same time, like I don't necessarily need a woman or want a woman to be like a homemaker type thing, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like she just has to depend solely on me. Like I love an independent, strong woman, you know what I'm saying? Like I was raised that way. My mother worked with my father and she was a homemaker too. And so she did it all. My father did it all. So what I'm used to is like, hey, we a community. We're going to do this together or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure I take care and hold it down. So, but as far as women go, yeah, as far as, I like somebody that shows that they have some drive, you know what I'm saying? They're respectful. They can show tendencies of submission, and the submission, what I mean is not like bowing down and kissing my feet and feeding me grapes and things like that. It's more so understanding that there are roles, you know what I'm saying? Like, according to like the Bible, it says that they have the man being called the head. So I want a woman that can understand that she can trust me to take the lead of things, knowing that 9 times out of 10, a good man, whatever lead he takes about something is going to be factoring in the woman. It's more likely it's going to be led by whatever he knows the woman wants. So she should be able to trust me to be able to just, I'm going to make the right decisions in certain things in life and stuff like that. So if she's already showing like she's got some pushback and she wants to, make a point to stand up for herself about certain things, and those are kind of red flags for me, but so it's just like a give and take type of thing. Let me see, what's another thing? Just goal oriented, respectful.
So what's your background? Are you married?
I've been married. I'm divorced.
Okay, and how long were you married? I'm sorry, I don't know you, so I'd be having to give people background. So
okay. Let me see. That was some while back.
You've been divorced for a long time?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's been a while since like 05, 06, whatever like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's all.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been married enough to kind of be in the dynamic of what a marriage is and what the union is and stuff like that. So been there, done that. I went through the whole the reception ceremony, the whole wedding planning, the bridezilla stuff, all that. So yeah, so been there, done that. But
So let me touch something. Let me touch something you just said, Herschel. Let's say you just dropped a gem in there that I think is important. So you said that when a man is essentially making decisions, he's making decisions that will benefit the wife as well.
In most cases, that's first number one thing he's thinking about, like looking out if they got the family, like say if you have kids too, like it's just holding it down, making sure you're making the right choices for everybody, not on some like I'm just some Gestapo, some boss, like like I just want to just make this, I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
No, you good, man. So let me ask you this: so how many, just in your experience, how many women do you think understand that? Like that whole point that when a man is making decisions for the house, he's making those decisions based on what's best for everybody, not just himself. How many ladies in your experience or how does that look to you? Do you think women understand that? Do you think they trust that? Do you think they even believe it?
I think a good woman does. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Okay. So I can't really make generalizations, but I think if you're a real woman, you were raised a certain way and you got it. You get it. So the ones that don't, then they're not really, they missing the mark.
Okay. I got one more for you. I'm gonna put you on the spot one more time.
All right, keep it coming.
In your opinion, who decides if the woman is a good woman? The man or the woman?
I think initially the woman do. That's
okay.
Again, it goes back to her upbringing. Woman know if she know what she's doing. She on her thing, on her stuff. And then shoot, if you a man with self-respect, you're not gonna just be with some heifer out here. Like if you know who a good woman is to you.
For sure.
Wait, did he say heifer? I had my daddy used to say that word back in the day. That's a back in the day word. My kids don't even know that word.
Yeah, I'm an old soul. Yeah, but I think initially the woman need to know who is she a good woman first before anything.
Right.
How do you feel about aggressive women? Do you attract aggressive women?
I attract all type of women, but
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like go.
Oh my God!
Can we define masculinity now? Because we didn't define femininity. Because I need to make sure men understand.
I was gonna say because the question I was gonna ask about what you mean by aggressive. Because I think anybody that's aggressive is not a good thing. Assertive is good. Aggressive, no. So that's even with me. If I'm aggressive, that's not good. I could be assertive.
Is there a difference between an aggressive personality and an aggressive person?
You could, because you could be passive aggressive, and do things that way, or you could be a person that always wants to sock somebody upside their head. You know what I'm saying? Physically, that's how I feel. But but as far as aggressive women, again, I like a strong woman, but she doesn't have to be aggressive though. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I can be aggressive if I want to. I'm very strong too, but it's like I'm not out here just push my weight around. I'm not like no bully and nothing like that. I'm mild mannered. I'm reserved.
Yeah, I can tell.
I know how to handle minds, like with just having a conversation with somebody, putting them in their place that way.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for Vince because I don't know if I'm on Love Connect or what I'm on right now, but Shotty, I was just messing with you.
Wow.
Listen.
Okay. Wait, I was a little slow for a minute. You better shoot that shot, girl.
Listen. No, Vince, I have a question for you though. Do you feel like, because I feel like this is your thoughts, do you think a man should date within his tax bracket?
I got you. Go ahead, man.
Yes. I have a question for Herschel too, because I want to piggyback off it. If you mind, if you don't want to answer, that's fine. Why did you get divorced?
Okay, well, pretty much the reason why is because the two of us were both, we kind of rushed it. We were just young, and I'm not saying young by age. I'm saying young by just my mentality. We were young-minded, so we was kind of selfish. We both were selfish, and so I didn't file. She did, but talking to her later on in life, she regretted that. She said that she jumped the gun and she was too impulsive, and but she still was. She had some immaturities on her own, which caused her to be impulsive and do that, and me too. like the things that cause us to bicker back and forth. We just weren't, we didn't get it as far as like like what I get it now, like how I just made a statement saying like how I'm there for I'm there for her, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, she's there for me. But what we were doing was we both was like, oh, she's not doing this right, or oh, he's not doing that right, you know what I'm saying. So we were both pointing the finger at each other. We weren't like trying to just build or each other up. So that's why we got divorce.
And that's great. And the reason why I asked that is because Janice asked me a question that I told her that I would touch on. And since we had another man on the panel, I just wanted to get your story because I am divorced too. I married my high school sweetheart. We got divorced at 22. And the thing that I can say is that I didn't know my purpose. I didn't have a vision. We didn't communicate. We both came from single parent households, so we didn't know what marriage took. To Janice's point, I was trying to be my grandfather and my uncle, who were pastors and who had pastors' wives, and I didn't have a pastor's wife, and I wasn't no pastor. But I had these things that instead of me trying to find who I was trying to do it like my grandfather, like my uncle. And I also think that we had a lot going on when we got married. We had a 5-year-old, and she was pregnant with my son. We had bought a new house. I had a new job. It was just so much. And we didn't come together. As soon as things start breaking down, we went this way. As soon as, I had because I wanted to try to do the right thing, I went into a bad mortgage. I went into a land contract, and it was something that I couldn't afford, but I was trying to do the right thing for my family. I already had a child, had one on the way. I didn't want to put us in an apartment somewhere. And it was something that I couldn't afford. So I started to miss a couple payments. I got a second job. And instead of us coming together, I need to go start working. Because obviously you can't get it together. And so that's just, she's working 8 hours. I'm working 2 jobs. We're not coming together. We're not saying, okay, we're in this together. We're one. And Janice, I think that's what things are missed. And I try to tell my boys and my daughter to find yourself, find your purpose before you get into these serious relationships. I tell my boys, find your purpose and find your gift, because you need to be a leader, and you can't lead if you don't know who you are. And I think a lot of people get into these relationships and they're in survival mode, especially with men. And y'all got ladies, don't date a man that's in survival mode, because he will say anything because he's trying to survive. Try to get you a guy that's in his purpose or in abundance, because you know that you're the one he wants, not the one he quote unquote need for something. Need you to help me. Can I come stay with you? Can I? You don't want a man like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you shared that, Herschel. I felt that for real, my man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, come on now, y'all. Y'all know how I am. Equal accountability. So with what Vince is saying, then okay, so then is there a case for what women are saying? Well, women are saying a man has to be at a certain level. And we've established earlier in the show that it's not always just financially, right? Although, let's be honest, there are plenty of women that's saying, if a man don't make a certain amount of money, I ain't doing it, right? But if a woman is saying, I just need this man to be at a level where I can learn something from him, where I feel that there's some type of growth, right? That if he comes into my life, right, that he's going to come into my life and he's going to come with something, right? He's going to teach me something. I'm going to grow in some kind of ways. My life is going to be better for having him in my life, right? Which that's the way it's supposed to work for both of us. Like, a woman is supposed to come into your life and enhance your life, and a man is supposed to come into your life and enhance your life. Like, that's the way it's supposed to go. It just looks different because they're doing different things, but that's in essence what we're supposed to be doing for each other. like Johnny said, we're balancing each other out. We're providing that balance. He's coming in with maybe the things that I lack. She's coming in with the things that the man lacks, right? So then, is there something to this that women are saying a man has to have a certain thing or be at a certain level in order for me to feel safe, in order for me to feel secure, in order for me to feel like I can respect and trust this man? Because we're making a case for femininity, meaning that women can lean in, right? And that women can submit. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it because I'm all about reclaiming our femininity, because I feel like part of the reason why as women we're so hard is because society does help put us in this situation where we are kind of encouraged to be uber independent. We're encouraged to, excel, even to the point where women are propped up to get more and achieve more and have more over men at times. So with that being the case, and all those things being true, then we can understand that there's a case for the fact that women have been helped into these positions where they're more enrolled, or they're pacing towards earning more than men, not earning more than men, not yet, but they're pacing in that direction. We have to understand that that's a societal thing that's being pushed as well. So with all of these external things that's happening, and women are now saying, okay, well, man, if you're going to come into my life, I need you to be bringing something tangible, the same way men are saying, well, I need you to be coming with your femininity. Women are saying, okay, I need you to be coming with something that makes me feel like I don't have something over you. Like I don't, or I don't have, I'm not going to at some point have to take the ball from you and run with it. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I agree with this mindset, because I understand that this mindset has some trauma attached to it. Because when a woman can't let go of that, even after a man comes into her life, there is some trauma there. There is some past experience there. There is some situations that she's been put in previously, and she has not allowed herself to heal, grow, or develop past those things. But with that being said, as a man, is there a real case for that? Do men understand that a woman is saying, I want you to come into my life, but if I feel like you're coming in and I'm still not going to be able to rest, I'm not going to be able to feel secure for whatever reason. How do y'all respond to that? Like, how is a man?
Yeah, but
how do y'all respond to that?
But see, that's the problem. See, if you coming into the relationship essentially like you already have something above this man, that's the problem. Yeah, we can't keep doing that, because see, at the end of the day, one of the main things that is a driver for men is respect. Yep, and if you're already in a mindset that you've got something above this man, I make more than this man, or I'm more established than this man, or you already on the wrong. You're already off on the wrong step at that point. Yeah, but see, and that's what a lot of these guys are talking about when they talk about this attitude and this mindset. They're not attracted to that. Yeah, that's a turnoff for a lot of guys.
But then I also think, Quay, is that even with this whole Tyler Perry thing, it just is what it is. Don't no woman want a man that just can pay a phone bill. It just is what it is.
Right. I agree with that.
It is what it is. So, I think that people have to look at reality. Just like I tell my boys, get your paper, man. It's money, power, and respect.
Yeah, but see, like I said,
so I deal in reality. I don't deal with what I think it should be. I deal with what it is. So, and I think a lot of times now we're bringing more to the table too, because I'm pretty sure if a woman, maybe who's a certain age, she didn't have a whole lot of debt, she ain't had no kids, she'll probably be able to accept a man with lesser because she got lesser. But a woman always is going to feel if I got a man, he going to have to help me take some of this load, period. And a man understands my money is our money. A man understands I'm making this money to take care of a woman and some kids. Women don't feel that way. They making money to take care of them and they kids. They're not making no money to take care of no man. It's just natural, I think.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. It's I gotta disagree with you, Vince. It's not natural. See, a lot of this has been created. We've been fed this. And see, this is what ends up happening, man. Let me call it like it is. This is what ends up happening. So we have a lot of ladies out here right now, right? They're making money. Yeah, they're making 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. They got 9 businesses. So they got all of this stuff, right? But then they don't lead with any of the other things that is the essence of that lady. Yep, they'll even say things like, they'll even say things. Let's say somebody just said this on the show the other day that this dude needs to level up. And it's like it's always back to this money. And it's like there's so much more to both of us than money. It's like you may have the money, and this is why I was asking the question that I was asking earlier when I asked Herschel, who determines if the woman is a good woman or not? Yeah, I know initially, he said initially, I got you, Janice. I know he said initially that the woman does, right? Because she knows if she's doing what she's supposed to do, or if she's following the recipe and so forth, right? But then I think in the second half of that, the man has to validate that. Because he's the one who's seeking the woman. So he's going to determine if he's found a good woman or not, right? But see, what we have going on right now is because of this money, a lot of ladies think that they good women because they make a lot of money. They got their own physical things. They got a house, they got a car, they're able to pay bills and such. But being able to take care of yourself as an adult don't make you a good woman. And that goes for men as well. Just being able to be an adult and pay your bills and survive, that don't mean you a good man. But see, that's what we want to use as the foundation to determine if somebody's a good man and a good woman. And I said, I think that's where we going wrong. It always comes back to this money. Yep, to your point, Vince, a lot of these ladies, they don't want to be with a dude who make less than them. They'll try to work with it. But if the circumstances behind a lot of this money and these things that we've acquired is artificial, then it's not something that we should be basing or rating ourselves off of anyway. But I'll stop right there. Go ahead, Janice. I know you want to say something.
No, I agree with everything you're saying. Like you said, like as far as a good woman, like, and everybody gonna stop playing on this airport run, right? I see the comments, right? But like, this is why I define myself as a good woman, right?
Go ahead.
Because I had a foundation, a strong foundation. I was raised in church. I had a good community in Southfield. I had both parents in the household. My dad was an excellent father. Excellent father. When I say he was an excellent man, he was an excellent man. So now I'm at this age, it's going to be hard for me to find an excellent man, because to be honest, most of the excellent men are probably going to be married, right? So now I'm going to deal with men that probably have a lot of mommy and daddy issues. My son even said it, issues. I deal with a lot of men, they don't like their daddy. They don't like their mom. And I'm like, all I know is love, So like, I understand the airports and me spending money. I don't know anything else but to love. So for me, I do have to be a little bit more careful when I date because I was only raised in love. I don't know anything else. And every man doesn't deserve me. And I know that, but it's going to be harder for me at this age because I probably should have just stayed with my ex-husband. If I look back at it, he was a good man. But like Herschel said, I was selfish. I just didn't understand. Like I couldn't comprehend marriage. I seen it, but seeing it is different. When you in it, when them arguments come and you fighting over stuff, it's hard when you in that stuff, to really understand the big picture, and now, me and my ex-husband get along. We coexist really well, but if I would turn back, that man did deserve a lot more respect than I gave him. You know, he paid for everything when I look back at it. But I just couldn't. I just wanted more. Like I wanted to. I was a ladder climber. You know, I'm like, okay, what's next? Okay, you got this. Okay, I got this. What's next? What level we going to next? And he was like, I'm content. You content. You only 30. You know, I was 7 years older than him. So I'm like, let's keep going. He like, I'm content. I'm like, you content. You know, so I get it, but I'm just saying what makes me a good woman is for me is I have that foundation of what a family is. I do understand that. So now that I consciously understand where I went wrong, I'm a good woman and every man don't deserve me. That man that won the airport ride, that man sure as hell didn't deserve me.
I agree. He didn't deserve you, girl.
Go ahead, Chloe. You want to say something?
For real.
I would piggyback off of, you know, like, okay, so, you know, Johnny's made a comment saying that, you know, her ex deserved a certain level of respect, but she, you know, she took accountability and said, you know, this is the space she was in at that time. You know, she was in a selfish space. So my thing is this. Guys, I keep going back to this point because I'm asking these questions because I'm trying to like bridge the gap between where women are on this topic and where the men are on this. So that's why I'm asking the type of questions that I'm asking, and I'm saying the type of things that I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm doing that. And I guess for me, I'm just trying to understand, like, when you talk about respect, Quay, you mentioned that, right? And first of all, there's a certain amount of respect we should give each other just because we're human beings. Like, that, just the base amount of respect you should give another person because they're living and breathing, right? They're a person with feelings. But when it comes to a relationship and a woman respecting a man, right? This is a very delicate balance. And this is where femininity comes in, right? If you are living in your feminine energy, you're going to give this man, if you chose him and you decided to date him and you're dating him, right? Then he deserves the respect of a feminine woman, someone who understands, you know, that she does have a role and that her role is to support and pour into this man, right? That is her role. Then if she understands that, then there's a certain level of respect she's going to give him. However, as men, sometimes I wonder if we talk so much about a woman submitting and women respecting men, which you should, because a man's love language is respect. A man's love language is respect, ladies. Like, that's a major key.
Ladies know that.
Men need to feel respected by you. They need to. They need to feel respected by you, just like we need to feel appreciated by a man. Like, what we do is appreciated by our men, right? They need to feel respected, right? The problem is, this is the power dynamic though. A woman sometimes will not respect a man if she feels, let's go back to feelings because we know women are emotional. If she feels like that man is not meeting her needs, or if she feels like he's inadequate in the sense of, once again, she's not secure because he doesn't have something that she feels she needs in order for her to be okay. Because at the end of the day, feminine energy is surrendering. And I'm concerned as a woman, I'm not, it's not me, but I'm just saying, as a woman, I'm going to be concerned about, okay, if I come into this man's life and I surrender to him and I come under his headship and I come under his leadership, where am I going to be, right? Like, am I going to be able to, you know, am I going to be able to feel like he got it and I can rest? And I keep coming back to that because I think that needs to be understood. Like, there is a level of work that a man has to do for a woman to feel completely safe and for a woman to feel like she can trust and respect him. I'm not saying she shouldn't. I'm not saying that there's a dollar amount that she should attach to it. I'm not saying, you know what, I'm not saying that. But let's just be honest. Men have to do things in order for a woman to get to the point where she's like, I really respect him, I really trust him because I see it. I see what he does. I see how he carries himself. I see how he acts. I see how he treats me. I feel safe with him. There does have to be some work that happens. It's not you come into her life and simply because you're a man, she automatically respects you and trusts you. And simply because you're a man, she's ready to surrender everything to you. Have you shown her the things that you need to show her for her to feel like I can surrender, I can rest? The flip side of that, though, is if a woman is stuck in her feelings and the decision to trust a man and the decision to respect a man is solely based off of her feelings and she's not being realistic, then that's when it becomes a problem.
Right. Go ahead, Vince.
I also think that if he hasn't given you a reason not to disrespect him, then it should be respect given off the rip. I remember when me and my wife first started dating, I know that she might not want me to expose this, but y'all know I'm transparent. We were dating for about a couple months and we had got into a disagreement and she started talking to me all crazy. And I know it was because of her past situation. She can talk to him crazy like that. And I said, look, hold on. My mama don't talk to me that way. So I'll never let you talk to me that way. So either you go shut the, or I can go back home because I got a place to go. I got a car right there out there in that parking lot. We're not going to have that.
See, that's sexy.
And I ain't had no problem since then. Because I was like, look, I'm not going to have that. I don't know what you used to, but I ain't him. And I've given you no reason to talk crazy. And she apologized there on the spot. It didn't take her. I'm sorry. You right.
But that's a man that like knows his value. That's what you showed her. You showed her, I know my value. That's literally what you did. It don't take money. It shows you knowing your value as a man. A lot of men don't do that.
Yeah, but that's
if they're arguing, bicker back with you. When you start arguing back and forth with a woman, you done lost it already.
Yeah, but see, that's also at the same time, though, that's also a level of cooperation and respect. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I'm gonna say this real quick to this comment. Shout out to Rosalind Shaw in the building. She said respect is earned, not given. I don't know if I agree with that. Because I said I think everybody deserves their respect. They shouldn't have to earn respect. Like I said, we can respect each other before somebody earns something. And see, this is like I said, this is part of the issue. And that's why I said I know that we are lacking for cooperation. Yeah, why does man got to do all this respect earning? Like, let me keep it real. Why does this man have to do all of this respect earning?
Yep. But men has always had to do that, though. They had to go check in with the father. They had to get respect for the family. Why is it any different now? I mean, men have always had to get respect before they get that woman. It's no different.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is even in those times or past times, there was a higher level of cooperation as well. And see, that piece is struggling today and being challenged. So that's why I'm making the point that I'm making. Yeah, this man has to do all this respect earning. It's just like, what happened to just respecting each other out the gate? Yeah, see, that's a part of the cooperation. Yeah, this guy got to do all of this fighting and chucking and driving, trying to. It's like we shouldn't even be doing all of that. Because see, that just adds in confusion. So I understand what Roz is saying in this comment, but this comment is slightly flawed. Yeah, but we got to be honest about that thing. Yeah, I'm sure that, you know what I'm saying, Vince, in that conversation he was having with Remy, he wasn't talking about she got to earn this respect. I'm sure he wasn't saying that to her. He was letting her letting her know what it was going to be in his response, and that was that. But he wasn't talking about all this respect that she had to earn and all this. And see, that's what I'm saying. We mixing so much stuff in here outside of just cooperating and working together. Yeah, this stuff didn't used to be this challenging. Yeah, you think back to relationships, this stuff didn't used to be this challenging. Yeah, you used to go back, and I go back to school days. You used to write your little note. Do you want to go out with me? Yes or no? And that young lady would get that note and she would either say yes or no. But now what this process looks like is once he write that little note, she want to come back and ask him how much lunch money he got. Yeah, he want to come ask her, how many kids she got. And see, we done lost sight of just the natural essence of just cooperating and working together and courting each other. Like, we just done lost all of that. And then we wonder why this thing is so hard. Then we wonder why it ain't working. Yes, I almost feel like we at a point where we almost got to reassess what we doing. Because I said some of this stuff is just adding to why we can't come together and why this process is so hard. Yep, I think at the end of the day, let me just say it like this. I think at the end of the day, a lot of these men out here, they just want a nice, wholesome female. It's really all they're looking for. Yeah, but I think a lot of these women out here today, they really just looking for a good dude who's gonna come in and handle some business. Like, that's really all I think it is. But it's like we want to intertwine all this extra nonsense in the situation, and then wondering why it don't never line up. So I don't know. Let me be quiet for a minute.
Yeah, can I add something?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I was gonna say it's like it's just overall it's a total disorder of things. It's like that's the root of it. It's not the right order of things. So like it goes back to kind of earlier what Vince was saying when he tells his sons about having their money right. You know what I'm saying? To even because I mean, if you just want to go back to even just biblical times, I mean the way the order of things is supposed to be is the male supposed to be in a position, and we can't put a number on it, but just whatever each person's circumstance is different. But the man has to be in a position where he should be able to provide for himself and whoever else he wants to include, who he wants to call family. If you can't do that, then you just have to just be on your own until you can do that. That's the root of the problem. But people they're trying to jump ahead. They're jumping and trying to get in and get with somebody or get married or get engaged before even that process is even there. That's the root of the problem. That's the disorder of things. That's where the women feel they gotta maintain or they gotta get themselves together, make this money and this and that and this. That's where all this independence to the point where they feel like they don't need nobody to support them, and that's where all this, from my opinion, that's where all this stuff starts. It's just that disorder, So I think if anybody wants to try to go into a level of being a union with somebody, it just has to be an order with it. You got to have your stuff together. Each person has to have their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We're not doing that. We're just rushing into stuff. Just rushing it.
Do you think the disorder came from first? I want to say something to Christian MX, your mama and your sister. Okay, look crazy.
I didn't see that one. Where that's at? Hold on. Oh no, that's
Second,
a comment.
Do you think that it might stem from women making money now? Do you think that back in the day women had to stay because the man was the breadwinner? Do you think that's a trickle from is that a result of a trickle down effect as far as like women making their own money? Because that's where it's really coming from. Like, I don't need a man because that's where I was coming from when I initially said that, but I have changed my mind. But it was from a financial place because if I felt like I couldn't take, you know what I mean? But I don't feel like that. But do you think do y'all think that that's a trickle down effect from women making their own money?
Yeah. I'll say this. I think that like I said, I don't like generalizing things. I think there's always a spectrum of stuff or reasons, but I do feel that like the women's liberation movement kind of started that process of people being so independent where they don't need a man. The government putting the welfare system in place where you can't have a man in the house. You know what I'm saying? And just those type of things that just started the process of, oh, okay, I can do it. I can get this free, this food stamps, this money. I don't even need you anymore. I got my kids here. I'm good. I can get my crab legs and all that type of stuff. I'm straight. So that play a role
Oh my God!
That play a role in it, but I mean, again, everything is a spectrum. So I'm not going to say that's solely what it is, but I think that played a role in it, and I agree with it. It trickled down with the whole money thing, and again, money that's what the Bible says. The love of money is the root of all evil. So and that's what we focus on all the time, and that's what the government and society is making. Even right now with inflation, what is it doing? It's making all of us complain about the gas prices. Complain about go to the grocery store, how much stuff costs double and everything. We're focusing on money. You know what I'm saying? And that's my opinion, the agenda. So yeah, I think that's a major thing. I think that's causing the disorder. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it, but I think we had more religion back then.
Yep.
My grandparents would have never divorced.
Right. Yep.
And my grandmother made the money. My grandmother was the one that started the business. My grandfather was a minister. So I think it had less to do with money, but then also you look at the fact that they had less options back then. And I didn't really see that until I started going to funerals. And every man came up from the South. He went to the Army or the Navy, and he went to Ford. So their life was already put into place earlier on. So it wasn't a whole lot of options. And they had more kids. So it might have been a thing where mom felt like, if you the average family of my grandparents' age was what, 6? 5, 6? I think my grandmother had 6, her sister had 8.
Yeah, 8. Great for me.
If you having kids for 16 years, where you gonna go?
Right.
Honestly, so I just think that is more perceived options than it used to be back then. Men had their things together earlier in life, and I'm telling you, the man getting himself together is a big part of that. If I had a Ford job at 18 and I stayed there to 50, that brings down a lot of stress in the relationship. It just does. So I think that's a part of it. And, and it wasn't a lot of, just like my man said, it wasn't a lot of social programs. They were embarrassed to get food stamps. I still remember my mother being embarrassed to pull out those paper food stamps. But now people throw that card on the table like it's a Black American Express getting out of a Mercedes. They go get their Social Security and know they got a job and like, well, I'm old this.
Bruh.
Oh man.
Can I say something real quick? I was gonna say, I get everybody goes back to like the old ways, right? It's just I'm an adaptable person, so I understand evolution. Evolution is what it is, right? So we've evolved to this level, people, right? Okay. So we can talk about a lot of women are independent because of a lot of stuff. The wars, the crack era, the welfare, all that, slavery, all that. Black women. I'm speaking about Black women, right? So like Chloe said, look, I agree with you all day today. Ain't that something? But where does the grace, I'm using the word grace, for Black men come for Black women? I think that's where my thing is. Where's the grace, right?
Black men are divorcing. Y'all leaving.
Uh-oh.
Lord Jesus, we point
fingers.
Who filed, Johnny?
Who
filed, Johnny? Who filed?
I don't remember. But listen.
Oh my God!
That was years ago. I can't remember.
Stop the cap.
But listen, okay, so y'all, I can't even get on my part.
Stop the cap.
Evolution, right? Okay, so let's keep it moving. We can't go backwards to my grandmama's, and when my granddaddy was in one room, my grandmama was in the other room, and they stayed together, right? We can't go back to that day. So what I'm saying is, how do we move forward? Like Herschel, like let's take me. I haven't been married in like another 3 years. Herschel, how long? Vince, how long was it before you married Remy? How long was it till you met her?
I was single for 22 to 45.
And then Herschel, how long has it been for you two?
You muted, man. You muted. Unmute yourself, Rush.
My bad. It's probably like a little over 20 years. I'd
and
say.
in between those times,
marriage.
Herschel, did you have sex with random women? No,
TMI.
ain't no hum. Ain't no hum, Herschel.
Sure I did.
Ain't no hum.
Of course.
This is
I mean,
Kandid Konvos. You can't come on here and say TMI.
Y'all not gonna be beating up on our guests.
I've been here before, so I already know how it is.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
If everybody, even men and women, need to. If your purpose is marriage, you shouldn't be out here having sex with people randomly anyway. That's one thing I put on my dating site. I need a disciplined man at this point. Like, I need some discipline. Discipline. Men need to discipline women too. Women out here thinking they Meg the Stallion. Child, take several seats with her. But discipline. I think men and women need some discipline. Discipline.
I agree with you when it comes to evolution, but at the end of the day, it still has to be some type of structure.
Discipline.
Like people like Jamaicans, they haven't been Jamaican in 20 years, but they still have their accent because they keep it in the household, whatever it is in the household. So I feel like I do believe in evolution, but you got to evolve off of something. And I feel like our grandparents are the root of what we should evolve off of. We don't need to evolve off of a space like everybody is doing. So
but they show discipline though.
Yes, but if you have clear communication, even if a guy, because let me tell you, I was celibate for 11 months and I had met my ex-boyfriend. That's why I thought that was going to be my husband, because I had gave up something. I was sacrificing, so but I still dated. And then as soon as they might have wanted to have a sexual relationship and they knew or they could tell that I wasn't going to be down, then they would exit out my life. But that was okay with me. But the one that I actually got into a relationship with, he understood. Everybody said they understood until a certain point. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, oh, okay, that's good for you. They didn't understand that I was serious. So once they, I guess, couldn't talk me into it, or, it couldn't be any, oral sex or anything like that, because I wasn't doing nothing. And so but if you open communicate with them, I think that you can find, and the strong will survive. And that's why I was like, dang, he understands, he stuck by me, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be my husband. This is what I was sacrificing for, and I think that I don't know.
Did you end up with them?
Huh?
Did you end up with them?
No, but no. I moved to Georgia and I thought he was gonna move with me. His mother got sick and he couldn't move.
Okay.
And I'm still hurt about it to this day. Even though we both have moved on. But that's definitely like still my best friend. Like I just was seasonal depression. Just that snow and that coldness was taking a hold of me, and it was just making me depressed. And even though I'm so happy here, that's like the one thing. Even I got a kid and a grandkid, and I don't mind leaving them. But him, ain't that crazy? Ain't that? I'm still like emotionally attached, because my kid gonna grow up and do her own thing. You know what I'm saying? She got to grow up, But my bad. But yeah, I sacrificed a lot, and I admire you for not wanting to do anything, even if you have those nights where you didn't drink a whole bottle of wine and you feel like making that. It does take discipline,
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point. I'll just say this, and then I'm gonna flip us up real quick before we get ready to get out of here. Janice, you made a point about evolution, right? Ultimately, I don't think there's anything wrong with evolving. I think what the problem is when folks try to redefine. Yep, and see, that's what we do now. When we look at evolution, let's say we can look at a giraffe. Yeah, giraffes back in the day, they had short necks, but now they got long necks, right? To essentially meet a purpose. But it's still a giraffe, though. But see, we try to take things and we want to redefine everything. Yeah, we want to take words and give them new meanings. Like we want to change everything. And I think that's where we go wrong. See, at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of folks will reference the past, that's typically because the past, there was basically something worked in the past. Mm-hmm. And see, we want to erase all of that. And see, that's typically our downfall because we want to redefine or we want to rid ourselves of traditions. Yeah, when you think back, when you think back to what families used to look like, you had a mom, you had a dad. To Vince's point, the dad came up from the South. He did some time in the service, as they used to say, and he ended up at a plant. But he had about 5, 6 kids up in that house. And that's what that family used to look like. And they made it work with the money that was coming in. See, we done lost that mentality. Yeah, we done lost that make it work mentality. I'm just keeping it a buck. We done lost that. Yeah, we don't want to make nothing work no more. We don't even want to put in no work. Yeah, you brought up a point about discipline. A lot of folks today, they're going to struggle with that. Because at the end of the day, a lot of folks don't think they do nothing wrong anyway. Yeah, so you go talking to somebody about having some discipline and not being out here sleeping with folks left and right. Now I don't want to hear that. Yeah, people going around talking about they got to test it out before they buy it anyway. So
not over here no more. Ain't nobody testing nothing. I need a ring.
I feel you. But I'm just saying that's how folks think now. Yeah, they got to test it out. Yeah, dudes used to say stuff like that. I got to test it out first. Now I see ladies saying it. They got to test it out first before they'll even, invest any time in my man. So like I said, when you look at what we are seeing today and then you look at things from the past, we still got to integrate or mesh some of those things from the past because those things worked. Yeah, I know everything wasn't perfect back then, but the structure worked. Yep, the structure worked. Yeah, the father, he might have been just making ends meet with all 6 of them kids and that wife. But that wife, she wasn't disrespecting that dad. They was making that thing work. She was throwing them little beans together and that rice and whatever it was and making a meal. But they made it work. Yep, they worked with each other. They cooperated. They respected each other. Yep, and see, what we can't do is we can't get too far away from those foundational things that have helped get us this far. Yeah, we try to act like we just done got out here and got all this money in these houses and all that. That just happened. No, that didn't happen. That happened because somebody before you gave you a foundation.
Right.
Yep, Janice, you talk about this, you talk about your father. Yep, he provided a foundation. That's partially how you were able to get to where you are today. So we can't discredit that. We can't act like that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Yep, the past, yeah, did it happen already? Yeah, it did. But the past just sets the tone for the future.
That's okay. I was going to add too, before I know
go ahead. Then I'm going to flip us over. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to real quick. I just wanted to say too, like, I think we also think that we can't talk about the past or we can't use the past because we're so modern now. And I think that, yeah, we're modern. And I think we should appreciate the fact that we don't have the same struggles that they had. Like we should fully and totally appreciate all of the convenience and the modernness that we have. But you can still be just as modern and hold on to traditional values. It's the values that you hold on to. You don't have to still do the exact same things, right? It's the values that you need to hold on to. That's what helps them. The strong moral standards and values that they had from those periods of time. We take those and we keep those with us. We can be as modern, we can have all our conveniences and do all our things, but we don't have to change our values. I just wanted to say it.
No, we don't. All right, I'm gonna flip us up real quick, Nessa, and then we're gonna get on out of here. So I got one more topic I wanted to touch because I just find it interesting and it touches or kind of ties into this topic right now. So I'm gonna flip this up. Topic two before we get out of here. The wall is real. Run that back. Topic number 2. The wall is real. So this is an interesting video coming from an interesting young lady. Very surprised to see it. Never thought I would, but we're going to run it anyway. And we're going to see what y'all think about it.
That needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Can I just, this is a good one. But I'm not even going to say what y'all think I'm going to say.
Well,
I'm actually going to start by saying.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm actually going to start by saying she talked about, y'all, I was so excited and a thought just left me. Okay, well, go ahead, because the Holy Spirit done took it. I probably wasn't supposed to say it.
Okay, well, let me do this first, and then I'm going to go to Vince. Let me do this first.
Oh, my God.
I never thought. All right, go ahead, Vince.
You know what's amazing to me?
Go ahead, man.
How many people are stealing Kevin Samuel's stuff? I don't know if you see that, Quay.
For sure.
This lady, Tyler Perry, T.D. Jakes, you never heard this kind of stuff before Kevin Samuels. But when it's coming, and she was absolutely correct. This is what it is. Ladies, y'all got y'all best value between 18 and 27. Y'all can get anybody y'all want. Our value comes later. It's the same thing. Like, I can go out there right now. If I had 2 kids, I can get somebody 30 and I can get somebody 50. This is what it is. Ladies, y'all can get, and I think that y'all don't really see that. Because
nobody wants you and your young kids nowadays. Women do not want you and your young kids.
Okay, I said but let me tell you something. If I look at Nick, I'm not going to even compare myself, but if you got enough money to take care of everybody going to shut up.
I agree with you there. You had the money, but with them 2, ain't nobody about to deal with your little kids.
A 20-year-old will.
A 30-year-old
No,
will.
they not.
He said 30. A 30-year-old will.
Okay.
A 30-year-old woman would.
Okay, let's get off me. I'm just saying that it just, our value is different. Ladies, your value, I've had this experience.
Yes,
I was in the club at Floods at 24, 25, and the girls who went to college with me, they can get me, they can get the attorney that was in the Griswold building, and they can get the judge that's over here. They was young, educated, no kids, and fine. And I totally agree. If you want marriage and you want a husband, because I'm going to tell you, 90% of the people that's even on my Facebook group that are doing it, they got together in college. They got married maybe a couple years after college, and most of them stayed together, some didn't, but that's usually how it went.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man. I just, you want to say something, Chloe? Go ahead.
I was just going to talk about Mr. Bobby Wright's comment
Yeah, let me put it
about
up.
men
I'll
of
read it real
every
quick.
race. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
by
the
the other
men of
one.
every race. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Men of every race have less degrees than women. First of all, thank you for that stat. That is what I was going to touch on. I'm sorry, guys, I forgot earlier. That was what I was going to touch on. I was going to say, I wager to believe that a lot of the reason why, and he just said that, he shared that stat, but I would say that, and I'm making an assumption. So listen, if somebody knows this to be true, then please, by all means, drop it in a comment. But I would say that for most situations, the reason why we're seeing men less in college is because men typically go to work. Men typically go straight to work. I mean, we're out here talking about a man has to have this and a man has to have that and a man has to take care of a family. Well, he may not be able to spend 4 to 6 years in college. He may have to go right into the workforce. He may have someone he needs to take care of. He may be trying to start his life. So a man, most cases, yeah, he's probably going to have to. Let's be honest, ladies. We have a safety net that men just doesn't have. They don't have it. They don't have the same safety net that a lot of us have. Not all of us, I get it. But a lot of us, especially those who came from 2-parent homes, we had that safety net and we knew we had that safety net. So we knew that we could kind of go out there and we could take the time to be educated or even fumble and come right back because we had a support system that a lot of men just don't have. So these men are rushing and running into the job market. And I feel like we need to be giving them credit for that. We keep using this stat and kind of yielding it over their heads. Like Black women are more in college. Black women are. And I want women to take a look at that and go, let's stop hyper focusing on the college degree, right? That's not going to confirm that man is going to do any better in life if he doesn't have a degree. Because a lot of the men that y'all talking about got this or got that or are making a lot of money, you'd be surprised. A lot of those men are not college educated men, but they are making good money. They are smart. They are leaders in their communities. And those men do not have degrees. So as ladies, I want us to try to, I know we love doing that because some of us, not all of us, I can't speak for all women, but some of us love just having something over on men. Like we just love to be able to say we have something over men. And so we just love throwing these stats out. But at the end of the day, what do these stats really mean for us? Ladies, what are these stats actually doing for us? She just showed you that, okay, yeah, you educated, but if you want another college educated man, you better get him while you in college. And even though I understand her messaging, it's still flawed because once again, the best men aren't and shouldn't be judged off of if they're college educated. Right. And so, I mean, for me, women who are, perpetuating that, just let's stop that. Let's put that away, y'all. Let's stop the college educated stat. I know y'all love that. But let's put that away. I'm not saying your degree don't matter. I'm not telling a woman to not think anything of the work and the effort and the time that she put in that. Okay. I'm just simply saying, can we stop using that as a marker for if a man is a good man or is going to be able to teach you anything or anything like that? Like, let's stop that.
I'm going to just piggyback off of Chloe real quick about that because obviously I don't care about college degrees. I done dated a truck driver, a bus driver, everybody, right? Okay. But what I will say, even about the degrees, people need to pay attention, like in the state of Pennsylvania, because I pay attention. They're going away with college degrees in a sense of like the state is saying, if you qualify, we're going to take you because America's not going to let women just overrun it. It's just not going to happen, women. It's just not. It's just what it is, right? Even in the Air Force, they're taking away. I work for the government Air Force. They're starting to even get away from degrees because a lot of men don't have them damn degrees. So you pushing all these men out the job market and all these women are at the top. America ain't about to allow that. So I think we do need to be careful when it comes to degrees because the degrees don't define any human being, to be honest. So people do need to take notice of that. A lot of these states are kind of swaying away from degrees because women are becoming a little too overly educated, and it unbalances the power of family. It really does.
Yeah, but see, that's. I'm glad you said that, Janice. But see, that's the point that we've been making. See, you said that these degrees really don't mean anything, but that's not how these degrees get leveraged. Yeah, we really literally got ladies out here saying that they got 2 degrees. So because they got 2 degrees, she looks at herself as better or more educated than you. You see what I'm saying? And see, this is what the guys are seeing. This is what the guys are experiencing. So instead of the lady coming and saying, okay, hey, I like you. I think you're a nice guy. I like how you move. I see how you interact with your child. Like, instead of her saying that, she talking about a degree. And see, this is where it goes wrong. And that's why I said, that type of thing, a degree, men don't value that. Yeah, that's not even something that he's looking for. I'm willing to bet money, and I said it's a lot of dudes in the comments right now. I'm willing to bet money right now that if I ask any of these fellas to give me their list of what they looking for in a woman or a wifey, a degree is not on there. Yep, I'm willing to bet money I can ask these fellas right now, when they looking for a girlfriend or a wifey or a woman, a relationship, that money is probably not on there either. Yeah, but see, that's the point that we're making. We value in different things, and the things that we value don't align with each other. Yep, that's the difference. But to your point, Janice, that's how fellas look at it. Them degrees don't mean nothing. Yeah, them degrees don't mean nothing. Unless a lot of these companies now, when they looking at these folks, they want somebody with that experience. Because they like, hey, I got to spend money to train you and do all this, do all that. You already know how to do the job. Okay, I want you. You come on in. But see, we still trying to hold that stuff in high regard. We still trying to hold that stuff over each other's head. And that ain't got nothing to do with if this dude is going to be a leader in the household. That ain't got nothing to do with if this dude can make you feel safe. Nothing at all. So yeah, that's the point that I was trying to make earlier. We value in the wrong things. Yep, and that is why we keep missing each other when it comes to connecting and building these relationships. We value in the wrong things. Yeah, you know it's bad when companies get to the point where they like, hey, forget them degrees. We need people. Like, companies doing that now. And I'm talking about the big ones. I think Google, Microsoft, like all the big companies now is like, forget that degree. Yeah, we need somebody who know how to do this coding or whatever it is. Like, forget that degree. Yeah, so we got to keep that in perspective. We got to keep that in perspective. Let me get a couple of these comments real fast, and I'm gonna go down here to the new joiner, Bobby, on the panel. Let's see. Sean said, "You on point, bro." No, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Sean. Let's see. Donovan said 80% of degreed women want to stop working. Here we go. 80% of the degreed women want to stop working once the ring and the marriage come into play.
Where Donovan get that 80% number at? Because Donovan be throwing out stuff sometimes.
You know what?
I mean, but what woman don't though? Even without a ring, like
right?
Even just having a boyfriend, I couldn't wait to be submissive. I couldn't wait.
Tell him, Shantae.
I quit today.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm still even if they scale back in their hours. Like, at the end of the day, if you're an independent woman and you've been doing your thing, sometimes you might deserve to go ahead and sit down. You finally found somebody to treat you like a queen. Sometimes, dang, Donovan, you was busting our balls.
Let me get another comment.
Women he know. How many women he know then? I mean, I don't know. I thought you had a girl. You know a lot of women.
Here she go. Here she go.
He got a girlfriend. He ain't green.
Yeah, she tried to come from my boy Donovan. Let's see. Shout out to Tiffany Weaver. She said, let's see. She is not saying nothing different than what white people are taught. Go to college and find a husband. Pursue the BS degree and the master's degree. However, we Black people have different circumstances.
I teach my 11-year-old daughter. I be like, when you go to college, baby, you find
that part.
Find your husband, boo. In college.
Yo, wow.
Yes, walk past the pre-med class. Okay.
Yo, wow. Yo, wow.
Yes.
Let's see. Kenyatta said, "Thank you, Tay." Okay, all right. So let me slide down. I see we got a new joiner, Mr. Bobby Wright. You with it? You still with us, man?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. How you doing?
Good. Sorry, there's an echo. I don't have my earbuds in. Yeah, well, yeah. How y'all doing? I just checking out the conversation. It's a good conversation. Appreciate it.
We doing well, man. Your audio sounds fine, man. Did you want to say something on the topic, man?
Yeah, I had a few points. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot, so it was perfect that you guys were doing this. But few questions, a few points I have for the panel. Something I was kind of thinking about. Do y'all look at this more so as maybe a trust issue thing with some black women when they see a black man without a degree? They maybe don't trust his intellect or his leadership skills, or think that he can't move up economically in certain facets of America? Or do you think it's more of a status ego boost type of thing? Because I've seen that kind of be a thing too, like y'all were saying, oh well, some women have 2 degrees, so if he doesn't have any, she looks at him as better. But what are we valuing as better? So that's one point. Another thing to that I want to throw in, why isn't this considered classism towards black men from black women, the same way that some black women will use colorism as a reason why they might not have the desired black men that they want? I'm not saying that colorism doesn't affect black people, but obviously that's something that black women will kind of say more so than black men. You don't really hear black men saying, "Oh well, this relationship didn't work with this sister because of my skin tone." That's more so what we hear from black women. But wouldn't this be considered classism towards black women or to black men from black women? You know, and my last point is, do y'all think these degrees are being used as compensation for lack of femininity? And let me know if you want me to ask, because I know I asked a lot of stuff, but just something to kind of think about. And
is it classism or staying in your lane, or staying in your right lane, like Vince was saying?
No, it's classism.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all opinion, though. That's what I was saying. Like, what are we valuing in this first world capitalistic country as being worthy? Because you gotta understand, you go back a few generations, what do we come? I'm assuming everybody here is Black American, but even if you're not, a lot of us come from, Southern people from Mississippi and places like this. A lot of us come from sharecroppers, and you know what I mean. Like my mother's side, some of them were teachers, and like my grandmother, she was a preschool teacher. My mother was a counselor at universities. My father was a middle school principal, things like this. His dad, his mother came from sharecropping and things of this nature. I'm actually related to Emmett Till, so I come from that lineage. These aren't rich people, middle. My parents are kind of upper middle to upper middle class, but they're not rich, but they're probably some of the more, I guess, economically stable people in my family. And we're not, my family's not rich. We come from people from Mississippi that, grew up, on sharecropping. My dad was born on a farm. You know what I'm saying? So we went from that to oh, well, he better own the bus. I'm like, this sounds like classism, in my opinion. I'm not offended, but it's just kind of like, where's the equivalency? If colorism is one of the reasons why Black women aren't with the man that they desire, which could be a factor, I'm not negating it, but we should, in my opinion, can we also talk about what should we define this as? Because it just seems strange. What does a piece of paper have to do with the man? Because you have,
no, that's coming out.
I think that a degree used to be a flex.
Am I echoing? Does that mean?
Yep.
No, that was Vince. I got it. Go ahead.
Right.
I think that it is. I think that it used to be a flex. and it's not a flex anymore. And then I think that it also has something to do with the experience that the woman has had, because of the degree men that I have had, they have not been emotionally aware. They are not the people that are not, because you know it's a book smart, it's a street smart, and you can look up and find a guy that's both. But when you don't have any street smarts, or you don't understand what's going on in the real world, you know, you get on that campus and the campus is a world. You know what I mean? You get to learning and y'all get y'all degrees and they be out of there. They might go get their master's, be in school for 8 years, and mentally, not saying institutionalized, but they are like bookmatized almost, where their life experiences are null and existent. So when something happens called life and it might be hard on them, they don't know how to handle it emotionally, versus a guy who might be emotionally aware or might have went through something in their life where, you know, where they're aware of their emotions and they know how to handle it, and they're not trying to go jump off a bridge because something got hard. They might just go have a drink, you know. So I think that at one point, yes, having a degree was a flex, but I think that the whole education thing is evolving, because now you have men that are, look at UPS, you know, that's not a degree. They go get their CDLs and they can still make some good money. You got these, you know, you got 19, 18, 19-year-olds working at the plant, making good money, getting profit sharing on their third year. They only 23, 24, getting $5,000-$10,000 worth of profit sharing. None of that is degree. So I think that it's so many things that set up for us to be, if Black people are interested, for us to still be successful without going to get those degrees. Because I know at one point, weren't they pulling your parents' credit to see how much financial aid you was getting?
They still do
right.
it.
They still do that?
I wanted to say, like, yeah, they still do it. Okay, so this thing about classism, right?
That's why I couldn't get no financial aid.
So this thing about classism, right? It's classism is in the Bible, right? You can go back hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, the man they picked a wife. If the wife had a kingdom because she's going to inherit her dad, that man wanted that woman, right? This is like, classism and money is not nothing new to humans. Like, this has always been there, right?
That doesn't make it right, though.
It doesn't, but it doesn't, it's not a right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what's always been there since the day of dawn with humans, right? The man wanted the woman that probably had more inheritance. She about to get that country when her dad died. I want that woman, you know? So we're acting like this is something new. Now, with Black people, I would say, Africa, they got classism, a lot of classism, right? And then you got us over here in America who, my thing is acting up. We probably developed our classism from white people, you know, through slavery. We watch them, we see what they got. We want everything they got. Like, that's how we're moving. We're moving like white people now, to be honest. We want to be like white people. But classism is like, I feel like it's an American behavior. It's in a world behavior, classism.
What is be like? We want to be like white people. What's that?
Yes.
Actually, I had a question about the white people thing.
Because Black people been inventing stuff. We built this country.
You're adding stuff. Invention that has nothing to do with classes.
No, okay, I understand. But how we trying to be like white people? What's being like white people?
To me, the behaviors of white. Like, when I look at white people, to me, I feel like they rude as hell. They don't say hi to each other when they walk by. They don't do. They're rude as hell. And I feel like a lot of Black people are becoming just like white people. They rude as hell, right? They're losing all their little culture and acting like white people. All we want to do is get some money and get some money. Only difference is they still have a big understanding of family and money. Like, they know they got to marry that woman.
Okay, I agree with that.
So why aren't we copying that part of white people then?
Say again?
Why aren't we copying that part? If they're married at another 20% higher rate than us, why aren't we copying that part?
That's real talk. I'm confused on that too. Like, they have a big understanding that you still need to create a family. And I think that's my biggest issue with Black people is, why are we missing that point? That's huge.
Personally, this is just me personally. I'm from the Midwest. I don't know. Different regions of the country have different American cultures. I grew up in, you can probably tell by the way I speak, I grew up around a lot of white people, and I'm telling you, they got a lot of them have, don't get me wrong, a lot of them have a lot of issues, and some of them are good at hiding it, some of them ain't. They got a lot of crazy issues. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think it's so much today that we're trying to be like or want to be like other groups of people, I think we're very broken and we don't know what to do. So we say that, oh, well, we're trying to be like them, or we want to blame. I think a lot of us are just lost. This is my personal opinion, and we're trying to fix something, but we don't know what tools to use. It's like you got a broken door, but you don't even know what tools to use to fix the door. You just know it's broken, and you're tired of having this wide hole in your house with flies going in. You're like, dang, somebody fix this door. But we're all arguing and blaming one another instead of going to Home Depot, getting the right tools and just fixing it. We want to say, oh, I'm not trying to get at you, but it's, oh, we trying to be like white folks. But you look across the street, the white man and white woman across the street, their door is just fine. Or if it does get broken, they're gonna try to fix it, or at least hide the fact that it's broken. And we're still over talking about we trying to be like them. No, we need to go get some tools, fix these hinges, and get this door back so we can get our house in order. I think that's kind of more so the issue, is we want to try to look at these other groups and say that we're trying to be like them, but then why are so many other groups outpacing them? You know, I went to trade school to become a welder, so I've been around a lot of Latino, especially out here in Illinois. It's a very high Latino population. They as a group, they don't make as much money as we do as Black people. We actually make more money than them, but they're married at a way higher rate because they still have this value of family and marriage. And I'll purposely go out of my way to talk to different cultures of people, and I'll just sit back and kind of listen and study them. They, like I said, white people, Hispanics, Asians, they have a lot of problems. Just like we have problems, they got problems too. But I noticed that they tend, like as y'all said, they tend to keep their value system of family and marriage together. We're just out here screwing one another, sexually screwing one another, financially. And then these babies are born, and then they get screwed, and then they grow up without no tools. Like I was using the analogy, and then the cycle continues, and then we're either blaming each other or we're saying, oh, we're trying to be like other people. But these other people are for the most part having children in wedlock. We can't even do that part no more. We used to be married at the highest rate of anybody in this country. And within a matter of a few decades, that flipped. We got to do something to try to fix that, or just maybe admit that maybe I don't want to say
because
that we
they got people that support them. A lot of cultures, the Chinese people, the Chaldeans, we like the Black people are like crabs in the bucket, you know. But then we got society against us too. Just like the crack. It was a crack problem, but the opioid is an epidemic.
Yeah,
And we need to
it's a health
find
issue for them.
But they locked up all the Black people, but then they putting all the white people from that with the opioid epidemic. They put them on what's that on get them.
They made them centers and stuff so they can get their drugs at the center.
Yeah,
it was just it was so you have to understand that we are not only broken down by us, we are broken down by we taking shots from the inside and outside.
Facts, Sean.
And it hurts my soul that we like that. And I think that's why, you know, Quay and Chloe do this show so we can become more unified. So we can come together and maybe make solutions, because we all go to different groups. And long as we got this tree trunk, and if we, you know, maybe our leaves will fall on enough people where we can get it together. But we so much in competition. Look at the Chaldeans. They all eating. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess the Chaldeans might be the Michigan, what the Mexican people might be the Illinois, but they all eating. The Indian people down here in Georgia, they all eating. Even if they live in dirty, they some filthy people, but even if they live in dirty, they have each other and they're unified. You know. Now I will say, if somebody come for Black people, we gonna come back. You know, as far as like when we get in the polls and stuff like that, and we make something happen. Because at the end of the day, we are the active people. Like when people be trying to strike on these, like on the Gucci and stuff like that, Black people spend a lot of money on that stuff, and they don't even understand. And we won't even stop buying it for the designers to say, oh yeah, that hurts. You know, so it's so many shots being taken, but they like, hey, you know, if they shooting they self shoot, we gonna shoot them too. And it just saddens to me. But you are right. I don't think that we're trying to be like white people, but I think that we should try to mimic other cultures, not just white people, because white people, they got all kind of stuff going on. I don't want to be like them. But I wish we did have the unity that other cultures have, because I think that we could just eat.
Would you say systematically that we had more systematic oppression, for lack of a better term, during Jim Crow, or would you say it's worse now, systematically?
I think they go harder on us because now we got, it's not even about rights, but we making money. So you can't guarantee that a white man can't guarantee that a black person won't move next to him. It ain't no guarantee, because it's gonna be that black person that make just as much money or more money. So I think that it's a little bit more stressful for him now.
Yeah, let me let Chloe go. Then I'm gonna say something. Then we'll get there. Go ahead, Chloe.
I think it's worse. I to answer your question, I think it's worse because now the oppression is covert. Before,
covert racism is a MF. Yep.
Yeah, it really is. Like, because what they've done is they tricked us to believe that we're in better positions. But just like Shantae just pointed out to us, we're really not. Because although we may be financially doing a bit better than we were, look at what it's done to our community, though, as a whole, right? We're advancing financially, right? Like, some of our people are in positions that they've never been in, and we're doing historical things, right? And then look at us fighting on podcasts, not this month, because we don't know that here. But look at us fighting on podcasts and shows and people doing videos, and every other day we on Shade Room for some ridiculous award star. Like, it's crazy. This is where we are. So we're supposed to be so advanced now, right? Like, our women are supposed to be educated and all these other things. But look at us as a community. Like, really look at us as a community. What do we measure our success off of? Because if we're measuring our success purely off of money, then okay, you could say Black community is doing well. But that wasn't foundationally how we excelled, right? This is why we keep going back to back in the day. And I understand it. It's old. I get it. We're modern people. But this is why we keep going back. Because I feel like there was something that they understood. The reason why they made it through Jim Crow, and like, Bobby pointed out, we used to be married at a much higher rate, the highest rate. There was something that they understood about family and community. And even though they didn't have the same opportunities that we have, and they weren't as financially stable as we are, they understood that really the backbone of the community was family. And they understood that having values was important. Having standards was important. And what society has done, especially here in America, the mind F that they've done to Black people is they've given us what we said we wanted. They've given us this illusion of equality with them. It's an illusion, by the way, but they've given it to us. And now, like Johnny said, that's probably why it feels like we're acting like them. Because they've given us this illusion that if we just work hard enough, if we just do this, if we just do that, we can level up to where they are. But in the meantime, what we've done is we've lost ourselves, and we've lost our culture, and we've lost what made us work. And they're all for it, because the degradation of the Black community is success for them. Because when we were staying on code and when we were community focused, they could not penetrate us. They couldn't. Now, however, look at us. We can't even, men and women can't even come together. We can't even come together. So they got us. It's not a coincidence that they're putting Black women out on the front. It's not a coincidence. They want Black women to be so far away from their Black men that bridging that gap is just even harder now.
And Chloe, who's hiring us?
Doing so well.
Chloe, the white men hiring. That's who hires me on the regular.
So why you need a man, sis? Come on over here. You don't need him. It's the same thing that the government did with food stamps and government assistance. You don't need him. Matter of fact, it's better if he ain't there. We'll give you more money. And this is what we're saying, right? Like, so if we want to really improve, I think the first thing we need to do is disconnect. Like you hear people say, unplug from the matrix. But really, we need to unplug. We need to unplug from adopting the societal ideas and mindsets that they're trying to program us to accept. And I think that's the first step. Stop looking at men like they're less than because they don't have a degree. Stop looking at men like they're less than because they make a little less than you. Stop looking at men like they can't bring anything to the table for these superficial reasons. Now, if it's really something that's wrong with this man, obviously I'm not telling you to pick him. But at the same time, some of these things, ladies, like we really got to take a look at what we're asking for, because some of this stuff is just not adding, it's not doing well for us in the long run.
That's real right there. Okay, yeah, I know we've been going. I said it's about 11:10 up here, I guess. I ain't gonna keep y'all on here all night. So we gonna take some closing before we get up out of here. We're gonna take some closing. So let me hit the ladies up first. We'll hit the fellas, and then we'll get on out of here. So I'm gonna go to Shantae, Janice, Chloe. I'm gonna go to Vince, Herschel, Bobby, and we're gonna get on out of here. Shantae, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, I had a good night with y'all. It's good to see you back, Janice. Welcome back.
Oh, well, you trying to trade in the other one? What you doing, Shantae?
Oh no, she traded in. You don't realize what you got till it's gone. And I realized what we had when you left, Janice.
Oh my God.
You know how people say, don't feel a certain type. If you in a certain situation, somebody always in a worse situation, baby. Yeah.
It's okay. I got DM'd about y'all, but yeah, go ahead.
Did you? Well, I'm glad to see you back. But yes, I think that it was productive tonight. I think that we got somewhere for the people who care. If there was a leaf shook on somebody. Sean, this is not the love connection. Okay, he's talking about I'm beating it, and then Quay gonna put it up there. But I think it was real productive today, but I feel like sometimes when a whole bunch of people get together and they all feel the same way, it becomes a bubble, and we just need to, because our little circle, we got it, we understand. So it's a little harder when you're talking to a group of people that understand what's going on. But I definitely had I felt like I had a productive, I learned some things today. This show definitely opens up my eyes to a lot of things, and yeah, I had a good time. It's good to see y'all always. Oh, Herschel, thank you for your because Vince is kind of wild, Quay in the middle, and we need somebody like you, cool, calm, collective, Don't
forget Bobby. Say something about Bobby too.
Oh yeah, I like Bobby, and I like when people come from different states and they start talking about how they state get down, because we all stuck, because we all from Michigan, not all of us, but for the most part, but yeah, I appreciated your presence here today, Herschel. That was a lot of good feedback. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Dark. Appreciate that, Shantae. Let me go to Janice. Janice, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
I don't know. I was gonna say thank you to Vince for because you was that man that was in the streets for a while, and you made that conscious decision to change. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all it takes. A lot of times is that man to make that conscious decision. I'm not saying women shouldn't do it either, but as we say, men being the leaders, make that conscious decision to change. And you made that conscious decision, and I don't want to, but you changed Remy's life. Like, that woman found a man that's a good man, and that's what most women want. You you consciously thought about what I need to change because what I want as a goal. So I think I just want like all of us to like what I know what I want personally. You know, I just got to find that man that's consciously ready to make that decision too, that he wants to change and wants to build something, you know, because we ain't getting younger, you know, nobody's getting younger. So I just hope everybody just makes a conscious decision to like change and then build up the Black community, because without family, we're just the Mexicans gonna take over. They already probably taking over at this point. we gonna be the minorities pretty soon. So Black people need to get it together super fast.
No, I ain't mad at that. Let me go over to Chloe. Chloe, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to say, I mean, this was an awesome conversation, by the way. Everybody's perspective. We had some unique perspectives. Although we can agree on a lot of things, there were some moments where we disagree. But we need that. Like, we need the varying opinions and experiences. It makes for a great conversation. I just wanted to say, like, I think all of us coming to the table, just like Johnny said. I mean, I can't say it better, really. So I'm just gonna piggyback. Just like Johnny said, like it takes us coming together and understanding first, like self, like what can I do personally, right? A lot of times we think, how are we going to help change things? And we think it has to be something really big, but really it's just starting with yourself. Like, we all have to take a look at ourselves and what we're doing right, and then what we probably could work on, and just do that thing, right? Like, I've seen people have a change of opinion by just sitting and having conversations with us on the show, or being a part of the show on the panel, or even just being in the comments and listening to us work through these things. Like, this is what we have to do. Like, this is like our couch, right? So like, we come to this show every Wednesday, and this is our couch. Like, we can really say what we need to say and talk. And I just think coming to the table with the open heart and an open mind, and being able to just, meet in the middle, not always having to agree with everything, but really taking it in. I think that's how we start to bridge the gap. And I'm just glad we was able to have that kind of conversation tonight.
No, that's real. That's real. Appreciate that. Let me go to my guy, Vince. Vince, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, well, first, Janice, I want to thank you, for that. And I just want to say that I'm on this panel, because I got a second chance. And I'm not perfect. And the reason why I come on this is because I'm not perfect. I have an ex-wife, I had a child out of wedlock. My wife got 2 kids out of wedlock, and we found each other. But I think how we found each other is that we took accountability, and we were honest, and we had the very tough conversations. And I think once you're ready to be honest first with yourself and where you are in your life, I had an epiphany that, if I wanted someone, I had to be the man that I wanted to be, that I needed to be. I had to be trustworthy. I had to be a man of character. I had to change my ways. And once I did that, God did place a wonderful woman in my path. And ladies, it's not too late. Yeah, y'all still fine now. But it's got to be that cooperative spirit, that femininity, and you will attract that man that will see that. But you have to be honest. You can't, you got to go into it with, look, I messed up, you messed up. You know what? These kids, we gonna put each other first, and that's one thing too. We put each other first. Her kid, I'm before her kids. She before my kids, and we before our own kids. And I know that a lot of you understand that, but you have to put your relationship first. Before all that, before your mama, before our relationship is first. And I think that's key. So I'm glad that Herschel came on. I hope you come back, my brother. Thank you for your transparency.
For sure. Let me. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna hold you to the last one, Herschel. Let me go to Bobby. Bobby, you want to say anything before we get out of here for the night, man?
Yeah, y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
For sure. Yeah, well, yeah. Once again, thank y'all for letting me jump in. I know I kind of came in towards the tail end, but I just thought it was a good conversation. I've seen some of y'all's other videos. Definitely keep doing what y'all are doing. I think what y'all are doing is great. my little nugget is, I think everybody, men and women, really need to sit down and think about what it is that they value and ask themselves why that is what they value, and figure out how can they be the equivalency of what it is they're looking for. So for example, for men, figure out how to be the male equivalency of the woman you're looking for, vice versa for women. Try to figure out how you can be the female equivalency of the man you're looking for, instead of just saying, for example, well, I have a degree, so if he doesn't have one, he's not my quote unquote equal, or whatever, right? What is the equivalency, whether it be social, natural order, whatever it is, whatever your value system is, or your faith system, if you're religious, whatever it is, instead of and not y'all, but other panels always are trying to force black men and women, or men and women of other races to, no, you got to think like this, you got to believe this, you got to want this, you shouldn't want that, and No, we grown people. If this is what you believe is valuable to you, fine, but can you find somebody that fits that? The person of your dreams, they have a person in their head that's a person of their dreams. If that's not you, you may have to change. Or if you want to stay the same, you have to accept that. But figure out what your value system is and why is that your value system, because you might have to fix some things, because we're all flawed. But there's a beauty in that, and we are beautiful people as black people. So I just want to end that little positive note there. Thank y'all for having me on, though.
Can I say something to Bobby real quick?
Go ahead.
To Bobby, you are perfect the way you are. You made a comment, and I heard you when you said you can tell, like, I don't know if you said like in white people or suburban. You was raised.
No, I grew up in a white community. Yeah,
I get it, but you are perfect. I mean, for you to make that statement, it's. I get what you're saying, because I dealt with that growing up in Southfield and going to my cousin's house in Detroit. So I just
okay.
You are perfect the way you are. Like, you probably wouldn't be where you are in life if you wasn't brought up in where you was. So there's nothing wrong with you.
For sure. I appreciate it.
There it is. Appreciate that closeout, man. Let me go to my guy, Herschel. Herschel, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for letting me on again. And appreciate you, Vince, for the comments and the compliments and everybody, all the feedback and everything. But just ending the night, I just want everybody to just think about one thing. I think the root of the problem is that we kind of tapped on a little bit, but it's the culture, our culture. That's the problem. We don't, like all the other races, ethnicities, they have their culture, and that's where the culture is where those old school, values that we're talking about that we used to have. That's where that's root stemmed from. Problem is with us is that we don't have a culture. We always, like we said, we are kind of evolving, or we trying to change the culture, or trying to figure it out. But we have a culture. We just have to go back to it. We have to educate ourselves. And what I'm saying? There's so much platforms and technology to do that. That's what I think we need to go back to doing, is just building our culture, keeping our culture. And don't change it. Don't mess it up. Don't try to fix it. Just keep it where, just have it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we'll start to see in our ethnicity or race, whatever you want to call it, start improving in those areas with family, where families are valued and everything. So I just wanted to say that. And also just wanted to say too, for everybody too, even if we can't, just as a starter, just value each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. That too many times people don't value who they have, what they have. They always look at what's better on this side or what's better on that side, or they're getting bored with this, or this is not working enough, or it's not working, or whatever. But they're not valuing and seeing for what it is right there about, each person's, what they bring to the table, what their value is. You know what I'm saying? So we do that, and we try to spread that on. It can get contagious. It can, just like all the other bad stuff can get contagious. You know what I'm saying? We pick on, you know what I'm saying? So just appreciate everybody. I try to get on here. I work a lot of evenings, so usually I'm able to kind of watch it here and there, but I can't necessarily get on because I got to like on call and stuff like that. So I'll try my best to get on when I can. Okay.
No, I appreciate it, man. Let's say you always a good value add when you hop on, man. So definitely, let's say if you got some time, man, come join us, man. I say we got to get some fellas on here. We got to, bring all these perspectives, man. So shout out to you, man, for coming on tonight. But I want to do this real quick. So Janice has been asking this question all night, and I have not missed it. And she said we need to define what masculine and feminine is. So I did a quick Google search. And I just looked up what does it mean to be masculine. And a couple of the descriptives it gave was strength, courage, independence, leadership, and assertiveness. I also looked up what does it mean to be feminine, and a couple things that it listed was being pretty and gentle. So as simple as those things sound, as simple as those things sound, we got to apply them. At the end of the day, we got to apply them. So my challenge is to the ladies, are you being pretty and are you being gentle? Just keeping it a buck.
Define pretty.
Oh, wait, you're not going to end it on this note. Like, you is not about to do that. You knew better.
What you mean? What you mean by that?
Pretty and
we're gonna be on here a whole nother hour.
No.
We're gonna hold it, but like I feel like you trying us with the pretty and
no. That's what.
Did you see how many he gave for masculine? Then go give us
give us pretty and gentle.
No.
You didn't mention the mind of a feminine. Femininity is the mind that will take a man and lead you to the highest height, to the president level. That's what women do. Okay, don't leave us at pretty and gentle. Don't do that.
Thank you, Kenyatta. Thank you, Kenyatta. She said I'm pretty and gentle. Thank you, Kenyatta.
You can be that by yourself.
No, I literally just Googled this, and this is what came up. So I'm not making this up.
Was it Webster? Because that was a white man. Wasn't Webster white?
No, it's purely in the Google search. Like I'm not even making this up. But that's literally what it says.
I wish Michelle Obama heard you say
that. Wow. Yeah, just for like I said, for the fellas, like I said, it lists out these couple things: strength, courage, independence, leadership, and assertiveness. Fellas,
that's a whole nother show topic.
Chloe,
I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to get out of here. Yeah. But no, the reason why I did the search is I said I heard your question, and the reason I went and just looked at this on Google real fast, I just wanted to see what was out there, right? And these are the things that came back. But the point I'm making in all of this is, when it comes to masculinity and femininity, it ain't complicated. But that's the issue. It's not complicated. We want to make it complicated. We want to alter the definition. We want to add stuff to the, and redefine and do all this and do all that. It's not complicated at all. That's at the end of the day, once again, if we keep these things simple and move simply, we wouldn't have as many problems as we have now. It's just that simple. Shout out to this comment right here, Lost in Translation podcast. What about graceful and inviting? No doubt. No doubt. That is a part of it as well. So it's just a quick Google search. But I'm just making the point. We got to stop overcomplicating things. Sometimes that's our downfall because we overcomplicate things. And a lot of this stuff is supposed to be natural for us. It ain't supposed to be complicated. So that's my closing. Let's say we're going to leave it at that. Kenyatta said, it's so simple. We make everything so hard. That we do. But man, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. Shout out to all the ladies, all the fellas in the comments. Shout out to the panel, Chloe, Janice, Herschel, Shantae, Vince. Man, shout out to my guy, Bobby Wright. We appreciate you guys joining the panel tonight. Like I said, this is Kandid Konvos. We do the show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube. We go live on Facebook. So definitely like, share, and subscribe. Everybody who's watching right now, hit that like button for us. Man, I can't read all the comments because we got a whole bunch of comments in here. But shout out to everybody who dropped a comment tonight. We appreciate you guys always rocking with the platform. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. And we will catch you guys next Wednesday.